Just microwave it with a little bit of water on the bottom of the plate. And keep it covered. Oh, Matt. How's Matt doing? Hello, Edward, as well. How's Edward doing? My brain keeps thinking it was Friday today, and I know it's not, and that frustrates me. It should be Friday. That's good. It's gotten pretty warm here now, or midsummer, and so we have like basically 2 weeks of just hot for Minnesota temperatures. The problem is we haven't really got much rain at all in like a month. Like a couple sprinkles. Every time it says it's going to be rain, there isn't. We're talking this coming weekend about more rain. But then the temperature jumps back up so quick that I don't know. It's probably going to say nothing by the end of the week. We're like super drought now. Considering we had flooding in spring. Sucks. Summer feels cooler than usual for some reason. I'm used to sweating and dying where I am. I mean, yeah, we're not getting like crazy warm. But normally in Minnesota, it's temperature, it'll creep up for a while. It'll sit in the 80s and 90s, but then we'll get a big storm come through and the weather will drop and be cool for a few days before it creeps back up, because it's usually pressure system moving through. But every time it seems like it's going to rain, it's like temperature jumps up immediately, and it's like, what's going on? It's weird. Yeah, we'll see what July has in store. Well, July, hopefully, will be downstairs back in the stream room. I'm hoping by the first week of July, within the first week. It all depends on scheduling for carpet. Though, even with that, we need baseboards and stuff put on too, but I am not as... We can do that whenever. I just want to get the room settled. We can work around the desk. The storm will come through. Bring in El Nino. El Nino. Stupid El Nino. Oh. And the heat has been pushing up from the south. Yeah, I feel like South's got to take it back. I don't want it. Figuring out how you're doing. A little delayed, but doing pretty well, Matt. It's middle of the week. It's my short week, so got a 3-day weekend coming up. We're going to probably do some painting, so it's going to still be a busy weekend. But I'm doing well, Haran. Thank you for asking. Okay. Oh, I didn't get my music prepped. Gotta do that quick. I did some heavy editing of this PC on the side a while back, so I don't have a music folder over there. I went and did some heavy registry editing to remove basically anything from that list that I do not want to see. So there's still a lot of stuff in there, but it's all custom drives, 3D, music, pictures, all that's gone. I have special folders for all that crap. You're now getting into Vermintide. I'm guessing Vermintide 2. Am I right? Because I feel like Vermintide 1's kind of... there's no reason to play it much anymore. I played enough Vermintide 2 that the only reason I own Vermintide 1 is that I got some of the skins unlocked for Vermintide 2. It was at a big sale anyway, and support the developers. How many hours do I have in Vermintide? I think I put it on retired for now too. Yeah. 410. I'm only missing one achievement too, which is like bugging me, and it's to beat the last mission on Legend. We never got around to. I know. I think the group did it once. It's the same thing with like finishing an Elite Deep Dive in Deep Rock. I just haven't been a part of the group that's done any of those. I just want to get that at some point. Not gonna lie, I thought Vermintide was like a rat pirate game. Kind of. You kill rats though. Oh, you're meaning Dark Tide. Okay. Well, that's actually like I have a lot less than that one. Actually, I'm guessing I have like maybe 100 hours. Yeah, actually, almost exactly. It's fun. I feel like it's lacking some of the quality of life features that Vermintide had, and I kind of want that. Plus, it's the lack of uniqueness to each of the characters is kind of a little rough too. Like Sea of Thieves, but with rats. I would play it. I actually like if they had Sea of Thieves, but you could play as like an otter, or like anthro, like an otter or like a bunny, like basically furry Sea of Thieves. That would actually be kind of neat. Yeah, the game's a little better than it was when it first came out, but it still feels. No, the gameplay feels great for Dark Tide. It just doesn't. All the stuff outside of the gameplay feels, for how many hours we had in Vermintide, feels like a step back to instead focus on something else. And it's fine, but it feels like it's missing the cool parts that really had that refined not single player, but like co-op experience. Now they're trying to make it like larger encompassing thing to make it look like a lobby and whatever. And that kind of, I don't know, it's not as fun for that. I need more people to play Sea of Thieves. I'd love to play as an otter, right? Because they are my favorite animal. I just think that they fit really well for that type of theme. All curses go to Argo. Sure, thank you very much. But yes, we're going to work more on this. I wanted to try to do something new, but I couldn't come up with an idea for something short to do. That's why I think Miss 15 AI the most. It was so nice for like, you could literally throw any idea together, but without voice lines to pull from. It kind of feels like it's just not as you can't be as spontaneous. I was considering making a short, just taking like some old Cave Johnson audio and just have him to animate something that's being said with that. But I need to go through the voice lines. I think there's just a lot of really weird stuff he says. Dehydrate. I can do that. Actually, I'm drinking now. It is I picked some yesterday from Summit. Their Lake Crusher Mixed Dairy Colch Style Ale. They were out of Blue Moon in a can, so I picked up these instead. And price-wise, they're pretty good. It's a little hoppy, but the mixed berry that's in there with that little bit of a citrus hop is actually not bad. I actually like it, so no complaints. But yeah, cheers on that. The more I drink it, that every sitting, the more I like it. But I think, and I opened this up, we were in the middle of kind of doing, I think, Spike's objection. Yep. You discovered Cider Boy's Papaya Paradise. I know Cider Boys, they're usually kind of a sweeter one, but Papaya Paradise, that sounds like way too many peas. But the one you might be able to find it that we found, it's a little more expensive than some, but was it 1940 something, Michael? What was the name of that one 19 something cider? 1914. It's really, they're in the large cans. They come in a bunch of different flavors, but the cherry one of that is very good. Very, very good. 1911? It's 19 something. That was 1917. It was 1917 because I have the movie right here. So I know it's 1917. Can't lie to me. See, we live in an age where you can fact check people by shifting to the left. Mm-hmm. All right, so what was Spike doing here? He's standing up and he's going to lean forward. Okay, so we just hadn't gotten to... He's got to yell at the Crackle Judge. Actually, I had that already off. Okay. It is nice and sweet cider. So is it kind of like... Is it more than papaya? Is it like kind of got a coconut or something in there? So I'm guessing it's tropical. Like coconut and pineapple mixed in there too. It's his eyes that change. I was like a little concerned there for a sec that I had something the lips sticking out. But it looks fine.
Hello.
It's you.
It is. We're having such lovely conversations.
Yeah, about booze.
Mm-hmm.
We got whiskey coke.
Yeah.
With Jim Beam.
Mm-hmm.
Honey.
Yep. How is everyone?
That's my question. You were
I want to know how they're doing.
Finally saw Spider-Verse today as a geek and animation student. It looks really good.
If it isn't Hero Mordavi.
Yes. I'm kind of getting the point though with like, after going to see a couple movies recently in theater, I still, at least at this point with like current televisions, would actually just rather watch a movie at home.
Well, that's why they went through all the effort to make the chairs nicer. Just because of that.
Yeah, because it feels like the movie looks better at home if you have a decent TV, and we do. So yeah, I'm kind of at the point now where I don't care. Like the movie feels like a waste of money.
I feel like as I get older, I don't need to see things right away anymore either. A lot of times I'll be like, hey, that looks interesting. I'll see the trailer for something and I'll be like, oh, that looks interesting. And then I'll blink and I'll see it on the store shelf at Walmart. Mm-hmm. Time just passes too quickly anymore.
There's a certain point where if it's like, if it was like a Marvel movie, like Endgame, I would go to theaters to see that mainly because people want to talk about it.
Yeah, you want to talk about that.
But there is like with Spider-Verse, there's spoiler stuff that comes up everywhere, and so you can get spoiled easily. But like after, like, I think it was the Super Mario movie, it was just on the screen. You could see like the reflectivity of the screen. It didn't even feel it focus all the way. Like it felt like you could get a much crisper and better experience at home.
The Mario movie was fun, but yeah, I could have watched that one.
But for the cost of say 6 people going to that movie, you could have just bought the 4K version of it, had it forever, and watched it as many times as you want as a group, and that would have been half the cost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah. And if you don't even include snacks and stuff, you said $7 total. Yeah. Well, it's again, the theater experience can be fun, but at least at home here, at least once we get the theater thing set up downstairs, we're gonna have a large TV with a really nice sound system. At that point, it's just, I mean, if all you have is like a small TV and like with the TV coming from the TV, or the TV and audio from the TV, well then maybe it's a different experience and it's worth it. But we've kind of invested to have some nicer audio and video setups. Again, once it's finished because of the basement crap, but it feels like it's not really. There's not a big enough a boost forward for a movie theater, especially since like the place by us, I think it was about, let's say $10 a ticket, and we went 6 of us, that's $60. And then let's say everybody gets a drink or a popcorn of some sort and averages out to probably around, I'd probably say $7 to $8 a person for some kind of food item. Some people definitely spent more, other people spent none. So, but that means you're spending $18 a person times 6, which is like $96 or $99, something like that. It's like, but you spend like 90 something bucks. You could have bought the 4K Blu-ray for $30 for like Super Mario and watched it at home. Ooh, downstairs. Getting there. It actually just came today to do the sanding. So the room is all sanded. I still have to do spackling a little bit on some things. I needed to take a picture with the soundproofing I put on because it's actually looking really nice. And tomorrow they come for the carpet measuring, and then hopefully it's scheduled within the next. I want to have it done by next week, but I don't think it's going to happen. 2 weeks was the minimum they were saying, and that puts it into this time frame. So we'll see.
So you were saying?
It was a quick poop.
I didn't poop.
Got tricked with cheap, unlimited salty popcorn. I mean, if it's cheap and it's unlimited. It says, theaters 2 days ago, a bottle of water cost $9. Yes, that's stupid. The popcorn to me is expensive, but it's usually big enough to share, and at that point, maybe it's worth it. Or like the beers at the one local to us, they were still expensive, but not not in a bad way. A 32 ounce in a plastic cup
was
like
a bar.
It was still more than a bar. It was still more than a bar price, but not by much. A 32 ounce beer at some other place like that's going to cost you probably $12-13. It costs like $15-16. That's an upcharge, but not $9 of water upcharge.
Yes, $9 for water is crazy. Yeah, you know what movie I want to see in theaters? I want to see Asteroid City.
Is that the new one coming out?
The Wes Anderson film?
It looks interesting.
That would be fun to watch together as a group, because that's a movie I think I'd want to talk about after.
The thing is, watching a movie together on a couch allows you to talk while the movie's going on.
Yes, but sometimes people are trying to watch the movie, and some people, when on the couch, will just talk. They'll talk, and they'll talk, and then we don't get to watch the movie.
That's what we put subtitles on.
It all has commentary, and it's usually negative commentary.
Mm-hmm. Are you bitching at me?
No, not you. You're not the one who every movie we watch together is like, this movie's stupid.
Oh no, yeah, that's not me. Kyle does that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Not that much though.
I think every movie we've ever watched together.
He'll bitch at some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that real? It looks like one of those AI generated trailers. No, it's definitely real. It's been, oh god, the trailers came out a long time ago for it. It does look neat. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of trailers for new stuff coming up through Netflix, especially Netflix, but a couple different places that looked really good. A lot of really neat sci-fi type things. Actually, one of them recently had a trailer. I can't remember who the director was for it, but the trailer itself was almost all just showing how they were filming it. That was it. So showing all this cool stuff, but spoiled nothing.
Yeah.
Which was what I want to see. I don't want to have a trailer that shows all the best parts. It was literally just showing how they filmed things and were like doing things and some of the green screen actors. That was way more cool of a trailer to me. Because then it makes me go like, whoa, that looks neat.
I do feel like there was a movie recently I saw an ad for where they clearly showed all the best parts in the trailer. It was some movie with like a dad-son thing, getting married. Can't remember it. But it was clearly a bad movie.
The one movie I always bring up that is the worst at that was it was Liam. I think it was Liam Neeson in the woods with some wolves.
Oh, I love that movie though.
Yeah, but that was the worst trailer of all time.
Just ruined the whole thing.
Because the scene at the end, they put the end of the movie in the trailer.
Oh,
and that gives you an impression of what the movie is going to be that has nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I never saw the trailer. That's probably why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so it basically was trying to make it look like a man that was just running around with daggers fighting wolves the whole movie. But that's the last like 10 seconds of the movie. That is it. So the trailer gave you a false impression of what it was actually about and showed one of the cooler scenes too. Yeah. It was horrible.
Yeah, don't do that.
The Gray, I think it was.
The Gray, yeah. That was it. That was a good movie.
Did that recently with the Teenage Kraken trailer. It looked great, but spoiled everything. Have you seen the Teenage Kraken trailer? It did look like that too, because I feel like and I know how trailers feel because it comes down to the same thing with YouTube of, do you want people to watch your video? Yeah. Well, if it has a twist in it, like, how do you provide somebody the information without giving away that twist? So you're at a balance of like, I could just make it look like this so that people don't see the twist coming. But then if I do that, then nobody's going to click it. So now I have to show something. But in doing so, I'm ruining the joke. So it's like, which do I do? And normally when it comes down to content, you care less about telling the good story. You care more about getting people there, and which is stupid.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it is don't watch any trailers of anything ever. And then when somebody just says, hey, that was good, then go watch it. But good luck trying to do that.
You know what makes me want to watch Asteroid City? Other than being a pretty good looking film with a lot of talented people in it. One joke that was in the trailer that had me laughing. That
movie at least didn't feel like it was being spoilery.
No.
The trailer felt like it was more of just giving you that surreal feeling, and the dry humor was great.
Yes, and my favorite joke was some dry humor, and it was just the guy being like, I'm a widower. Please don't tell my children.
Yes, I remember you cracked up when you heard that one.
I was so hard with that one.
No, there's a lot of the dry comedy in there that was really good. So,
hello, Legendary Jelly.
Hello, Jelly. I like that change. Honestly, doesn't look too terrible. I want to wait for home release. Yeah, that's the thing is I'm kind of getting to the point with I'll just wait for home release for everything, because what is the time frame from theater to home release now?
It feels like it's getting shorter. I don't know that it is.
To me, it's about
feels like
maybe 2 months.
Not even.
Like Mario came out a week ago.
Yeah.
In all formats. And so when did that one come out?
Well, now that a lot of these companies own their own streaming platforms, they get them onto those almost within a month after it hits theaters.
April 5th. So it was literally 2 months afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm feeling it's about 2 months.
It's only because Nintendo doesn't own their own streaming platform. Looking at Disney, I bet it's way quicker.
But like I was reading some stuff about Disney, and I kind of agreed with where most people are that there's a ton of ways to get content nowadays with streaming and everything, and everybody's just like, well, why go and spend all the money to go to a theater to see the big spectacle when I can just go and stream it from home in a month or two?
Especially when people have like their 50-inch plus television.
Because they invested in all of it, because there was a good 2-year period there where that was the only choice you had. Yeah. So everybody got used to it, enjoyed it. Now it's like, why should I go to a theater?
I like my couch. That's why I bought it.
I'm glad you can still buy movies, but but still, you can just stream it literally 2 months later. I mean, Disney's a little different because usually you can't. They'll put it on Disney Plus as a free thing to watch, where a lot of those other ones, it might come available, but it'll be for like a rental period. Unless you have to buy or rent. It's not free on Netflix because, Mario can't be free. Yeah. But yeah, it's Disney, I feel like, is almost pushing itself out of its own movie market by making their streaming service what it is. Their own streaming service is killing their movie ratings.
Well, they can set the price on the streaming service. They probably like it.
No, they can't. They still have to fight with Netflix, but Netflix is the one screwing itself over in terms of price.
Yeah. But they don't have Disney power, and it might be one of those situations.
Well, yeah, but there's
Disney's gone, or Netflix is gone. Netflix will just prices because they know that the only choice.
Yeah, but Netflix is still already over double Disney price.
Yeah.
So, but what I feel like Netflix is doing now is they are coming out with some really good originals that are unique to Netflix, that are much more tempting and high budget than they were. So if it's going to cost more, but you're getting much higher quality content.
I just worry that Disney's pulling on Walmart, where they can afford to lose money on their streaming service by undercutting Netflix. But as soon as they
did Netflix originally. It used to be like what, $8? Like how much is Disney Plus now? It used to be like when they first opened it, $8 a month or whatever, and compared to others, it was an amazing deal.
Yeah. But now they have to pay more for probably a lot of their content.
Oh no, the price went up. Now it's $11 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, if you buy it by the year, which don't do this, stupid. It's like 11 months worth, and then you can do Hulu and ESPN Plus for a couple dollars more. But compared to what is Netflix now? It's like 24 if you want to do with ads, but if you want to actually watch in 4K, it's $20, which actually I thought it was more than that, so it's a little better.
It's only 10.
I think basic I think is probably like 480 quality, and I think it's like limited on like DVD quality.
Okay.
Which is sad to say, like remember when DVD was so amazing looking, and then you're like 480.
Well, you didn't have the tracking.
Yeah.
Anybody remember tracking?
Standard I believe is 1080, and then that's 4K. I remember tracking. Speaking to Disney, they royally botched the advertising for Elemental. They treat it like a basic rom-com, but it's an immigrant story that's apparently really good. I've heard a lot of different things that most Disney movies now are just adult topics trying to throw into a kiddie format, and it's getting kind of difficult to determine who those movies are for anymore. Well, it's not playing to any specific audience. It's playing very general.
That's always been Disney's strength, is kind of playing to everybody.
Yeah, but most of their last few movies have just not hit home for people.
I did like Soul.
Yeah, but it wasn't successful. It didn't work out. I think that there's less Disney magic out there. I think actually it's kind of like.
I'd be afraid of what would happen if Walt Disney came back today and tried to make a film. He's probably spelled something.
It's like
problematic.
Like what I feel is what we need is more Spider-Verse.
Just more Spider-Man?
No, we need something that comes in and just shakes up the genre in a unique way. Like there's the new movie, I posted about it on.
I told you they just need to animate Fallout Equestria. That would shake things up. Want it?
What is?
Figure it out, Bethesda and Hasbro.
What's the one that's coming soon to Netflix that looks really good?
It's Microsoft and Hasbro now.
I think it comes in like a week. It's this one.
No, that is such an ugly Alvin.
Yes, it was.
Shovel Knights?
Netflix they're bringing. They have games.
Oh, they have games.
Where's that one? It looked. Oh yeah, Aaron Paul's going to be in a new one. One. That one. Nimona.
Isn't that the one that nearly got like
Yeah,
canceled
because the whole studio collapsed, and then another one took it over. It looks really good.
It kind of reminds me of what if the Red Panda movie was also like in the cyberpunk world. That's basically what that is.
But the comedy looks really good. Her as just being crazy is entertaining. Like it just hello Phil. Yeah, it hasn't been a while. It looks I'm very excited for that one because it has a Spider-Verse type style to it. And I've looked really forward to it. And it's just super colorful. Like in a good way. Disney tries to do their very high saturation, but it usually just feels like they just pumped it up for fun. Like, yeah.
Do you think I'm gonna get my Fallout Equestrian movie?
No, but Amazon is still working on the Fallout show.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not
could be ponies in it. We don't know.
Sure.
You're like, it's not gonna happen.
That's Body Cap. Now I'm Demona. I'm looking. When did that say that it was coming out?
Never.
June 30th. So it comes out in 10 days. I was like, I didn't even know about it until like literally just a week ago. And then I was like, and Witcher comes out. So there is so much good stuff coming out really in the short term here that I normally am not one for getting streaming platforms, but at the same time, Netflix has got some really good stuff coming, and
I'd like to watch it, but I have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited about some of the new stuff they got. So I think that I'm glad that Netflix, while they're charging more, they're starting to actually come out with some better content. I'm hoping they stick with it.
Speaking of work today, I decided my shirt, it had a huge hole in it right here. And I got to work and I'm just like, I can't wear this shirt like this. So the inside of my shirt is all like taped up with Scotch tape. To keep it from having a huge hole right here. Isn't that great?
You still find ways to out-Michael yourself.
I gotta stay pretty for work. His shirt is so old. It is pretty much just a rag I'm wearing.
How's it going, Spotty and Philip?
Yes. Spotty Kit. Yeah. Oh, wait. I thought that was a little bus. Tape measure.
No, so this tape measure is funny. It was like, it's a really long one.
Sure.
It's like 25 foot. And it's super heavy duty. And it's from the window guys.
Oh, they left it?
Yeah, there was like that. There's a blanket or whatever that was just around the side of the house all winter, but it was frozen down. When I lifted it up, they had this under there. So it was outside all winter, but like
tape measure
still works fine. And this is like a heavy duty one. This one like actually could hurt if you hit somebody with this thing.
That's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah, like every contractor that's come here to do something has left something at some point. Mm-hmm. Like I got this from the window guys. People that did the sump pump, it left a hammer and some sealing tape, and the most recent guys that did the drywall left a speckle, whatever.
One of my favorite pair of pliers was I got from a like one of those Jiffy Quick and Lube places or whatever.
Jiffy Quick and Lube.
Yeah.
Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy.
Why was Quicken in there?
I don't know. But I from one of those places where one of the guys who changed my oil just left a pair of pliers under the hood of my car, and then when I popped the hood of my car, I just found them laying in there. So I was a little like upset by it, but then I got free pliers.
Well, you're doing good, Spuddy. That's good. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Also, Sarwar wants to know if you got through the butthole doors.
I did. I loaded an old save, and I was able to get through the butthole doors. So we will be able to continue again. Oh, it's Michael, Mr. Streamer Expert. Yes, Silver, Streamer Expert that I am.
Mr. Streamer Expert, yes. He has bonus content.
I know how streams work. Totally. I know how the buttons do.
So for those that don't know, Michael forgot that he did a raid and then forgot to hit the stop stream button, which I've done before.
The raid makes the stop stream.
No, so he doesn't hit the stop stream button, and then
I already deleted it.
No, and then
Wait,
and then no, we got. Nolan and Silver here are like, Michael, you're still alive. Michael, you're still alive. Don't pick your nose. Michael, no, he's alive. He went to pee. Please tell him he's alive. She has to pee. So I went upstairs and I knocked on his door and he walks out. He's like, what's up, Mike? You're still streaming. Oh, what?
Oh no.
Oh, there, you got it. That was a great after stream. Yeah, it's super weird. You're gonna start stripping. Like I put on a foot half before I go to bed, so no worries.
No, I only strip from my OnlyFans account.
Yeah, we didn't clip it. Oh, well, like he'd brought it before. Jay Holler had once stopped streaming or forgot he had not hit the button for it and went to bed.
Yeah, right in front of the camera.
Right in front of the camera, like turned the lights off and just went to bed.
He didn't turn the lights off. He was hammered.
Oh, he just laid down.
He just laid down.
How long was it streaming?
Oh, I went for hours, and then I had to go to bed.
Wait, just watched him sleep.
I left to run in to see if he would ever wake up. Because why not? Yes.
So you don't know what happened to that one?
I imagine he eventually woke up and realized he was still streaming.
I only stream from my OnlyFans account. Oh no, he only streams that from his OnlyFans account.
Yes.
Unless you want to start doing some Quest for Glory 3 from your OnlyFans.
Yeah,
that would be my luck.
Next game I have to play is the one I already promised.
Disco Elysium.
Yeah. I did fix the other game, so we will finish it on Monday for sure. I said that last time, but then I got stuck because I didn't talk to one person completely, and it pretty much progression locked me.
Back when games didn't have quite the same amount of play testing to ensure things when you have a lot of lots and lots of choices, you have to make sure that there are things that can be done to ensure that you know what needs to be done, but they weren't really good about that back then.
No.
They were, I mean, sometimes you could say, oh, that's more realistic.
It's kind of my fault because I thought I had already talked to the gypsies completely in the game, and I got tired of listening to them because they can ramble on too much, so I was kind of avoiding them. Only to realize that I had to go back and like have one conversation that I hadn't had. Oh, Adam. Is that the one where you can die from heart attack like 1 minute into the game? I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can.
If you're referring to Disco Elysium, I have not played it yet.
I got funny bits right here if I want it, and I do not need to stare at them all the time. Yeah, Adam.
Sure. He's just gonna walk into his room and he's gonna have all of the plushies on the shelf, but they're all facing backwards. Yeah, you're gonna ask, what's up with that? It's like, oh, they do that sometimes. We'll find out together. I just remember playing another Sierra game, King's Quest 6, and that game you could die one of 1,000 different ways. Like the game is just always trying to kill you. Though I do enjoy Quest for Glory is probably my favorite old Sierra game, just because of how there are different ways of doing everything. Like, there's no one answer to any puzzle, and I like that. Some problems have like 3-4 different solutions. And I got to cop a feel in Quest for Glory.
Okay.
Silver was there. She said it needed to happen. She was very adamant that I needed. There was a vampire lady sleeping in the coffin, and you can just like click, and it just says cop a feel. And you do it, and he does it.
Yeah, you say that, but she also said, "Don't pick your nose," and you still pick.
I didn't pick my nose. And I remember, could have picked my nose. I deleted it.
Then what does this say? You're still alive. Don't pick your nose.
I might pick my nose.
I'm thinking that's pretty specific.
I mean, could have happened. It happens sometimes.
He did. Yes, he did.
Oh no! No, I copped the feel, or I picked my nose. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's a yes on
my
both.
nose. Okay, well, privacy in one's home. You did both at the same time. I was copping a feel while picking my nose. It was one of those kind of nights. Don't forget the part where the vampire lady ties you up and whips you in a dungeon after catching you copping a feel. No, I remember that part. The part about that is what gets me is she's wearing like a dress when she's lying in her bed, and then when she like chains you up in the dungeon, she clearly changes out of her dress into like the leather whipping suit before she goes upstairs. That game is weird. Perfect for 8-year-old me. My parents did not watch me nearly enough. Very hands-off parenting.
I'm not sure. Did he make a sound?
Your Honor. Your Honor. Objection.
Okay, I think.
Objection. Honor. Objection.
I thought maybe about having his hand come down, but there's no sound for that, so I don't want to add one.
Jub, I get why you might have zoned out there for a bit. He's animating dragons. I mean, we kind of got Twilight in the back. Oh, okay, that's better. It's Twilight. Look at her, she's being cute. Oh, happy she is. Just no, Twilight, come back.
Back there.
The cutie.
The important part.
All these dragons hogging up the pony's time. There's only okay. There's a 3-to-3 ratio for dragons to ponies so far. Yeah,
but I would say mass-wise, the dragons are winning.
No,
Crackle big, and Crackle has the big advantage. He has hands. that's the best one to stop to.
I do see that getting a lot of comments. So
he's adorable.
Oh, Mr. Goodnight.
Really? Thank you very much.
I keep forgetting I gotta do the camera on that one.
Your Honor.
I think I want to have him kind of like lean a little bit into the motion here, like that.
Getting a phone call.
See if it's anybody I have to worry about.
Do.
Hello?
Meaning you.
No. Nope. Hi, it's Congressman Woman Omar. I can't do my job without your help. Great. You'll be like every other politician, useless.
Wow. I don't know, man. Politicians finally legalized pot. I think I could be pretty happy about that. Personally. Not that I partake, but it's good to know.
The best part about all that is just the freeing from prison those that were
mandatory minimums.
Were almost had done nothing else other than just something so minor, and then
the 80s were rough.
Well, I'm not even talking 80s. I'm talking like, I mean, if anybody's still in the jail from that point,
yeah.
I mean, that's murder territory.
Yeah.
So I'm glad on that part.
I did like some of the spoof videos on YouTube where it's like, where they were making fun of like the old videos where somebody was caught with marijuana. He was like, "You're smoking pot." It's like, "You were a perfect child," and they just completely disown them and try to set them on fire. That kind of thing. It was a spoof. They were funny. Like, smoking pot is worse than murder. I don't know how many of you lived through the 90s, but that was pretty much the air about things.
Remember the very, very famous one of like
Frying pan.
the frying pan? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in our age group remembers the frying pan. This is your brain on drugs. And it's just, I mean, it was memorable, but I remember that they're like, so how did these campaigns go? Oh, well, it basically showed kids that drugs will fuck you up. And then they're like, I should try that.
Yes. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Well, why do people do drugs? Because it makes them feel amazing, but don't do it.
Children already are about being self-destructive and not caring about their own personal safety because that's kind of part of being young. And then they show, don't do this because if you do, you're a rebel and you hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. And all kids are going to be is like, really? Because that's exactly what I like doing.
No, I admit that the DARE program stuff kind of worked on me. I very much became that kid like, oh no, they have a cigarette. They're gonna go to hell. That's what that means. Because that was, you might have gotten like the Minnesota version, but the southern part of America version very much linked it to religion in a lot of ways. So doing drugs, especially marijuana, wasn't only a crime, it was a sin in the same effect. So
but isn't the blood of Christ like that you get at Place and Wine?
No, alcohol's fine in the South. They love that shit.
Yeah, no, they're like, that drug's fine.
Yes, that drug's fine. But no, I went to a lot of to church as a kid, and drugs would come up, and they would preach about how marijuana was a sinful thing. So that was like the DARE program in the South had a bit of extra flair to it.
There's like the reflection of something that's like very, very clear of the tree over there, and I keep, oh no, it's the reflection from in the window. Okay, I thought it was from behind us. I'm like, what the hell? I keep thinking like somebody's walking up to our door.
Keep catching them out of the corner of your eye. I'm very happy to know that all of my booze stuff that I need for this weekend will arrive Friday, according to all the tracking things.
According to the tracking.
Yes. So I'm hoping that does Jesus give off stoner vibes? A little bit. He's got the long hair. He's a hippie. Yeah. No, I was very much the kid. I think my sister only recently was going through a bunch of, when my mom was moving out of her place to move in with my grandparents. My sister was helping her go through some of her stuff, and she found a DARE program card that I signed. That was my pledge to never do drugs. And it had my 10-year-old me signature on it.
I still have my DARE t-shirt.
You can hold on to that. Those are actually pretty cool.
It's still work. Like Jay has a really nice one. Mm-hmm. It's just the DARE with the text underneath it, but instead of DARE, it says stop, 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 stop. I like that one, but I have the original one from when I was in middle school.
DARE shirts are cool now because everyone recognizes them as ironic.
No, it's not the drug; it's about the way you use it. There are certain drugs that should not be available. Normally,
essentially just poison.
The ones that are immensely addicting, or the ones that even normal use will cause like significant or serious negative side effects. Thing is,
like
marijuana
make your teeth fall out and give your brain damage.
Yeah, that can. Or oxy is, at least being uncontrolled makes sense because it is immensely addictive.
It's immensely addictive, and too much of it will kill you.
Yeah, but like marijuana has none of that.
Yeah.
Because you really can't OD on it.
No.
And it is not physically addictive. It can still be mentally addictive, but milk can be addictive. Anything your body gets addicted to anything if you have enough of it, just because it's a thing of habit. But it's not going to make you have a necessity for it.
It doesn't replace dopamine like some drugs do.
I really wish I could get his.
You know,
mouth
like
open
cigarettes,
there.
yes, nicotine is, I think, the single most addictive drug.
I thought it was sugar.
I don't know.
Sugar is immensely addictive.
I don't know like sugar that much. I mean, I'm drinking a lot of it in the honey, but I'm trying to reduce the sweetness. It's part of the thing where the alcohol stuff I'm buying is coming in. But,
Actually, I'm curious. So,
which one's more addictive, nicotine or sugar?
I want to find like a list.
Well, cocaine is addictive, but nicotine, I think, still beats it. There you go.
Which is worse for you? Not the question.
What do you think is more addictive? India today.
They actually group cocaine and cigarettes. So this is the specific one. Sugar, no contest.
I think it's just people's opinions, though.
Oh, that's not. Yeah, it's.
It's just a forum.
Yeah, I don't.
Debating.
Yeah, I have to. If I had to make a choice, though, on which one is more addicting, I would. I think that sugar might be more addicting, but nicotine is much harder to stop.
I would say nicotine is more addicting, just from my experience with my dad, who smoked 2 packs a day, and he would get up 2 or 3 times in the middle of the night because he needed a cigarette. And I don't know anybody who needs to get up at like 3 a.m. to eat a cupcake
I think Adam's
because they
getting there.
can't go to sleep without it.
But yeah, I don't. Well, thing is, it's not just about how addicting something is. It's also like how fast do you need it? Because if it metabolizes really fast in your body, I can understand that one of them you're going to need more often than the other, or because it just processes
Anything
faster.
into your
but-
lung is going to hit you quicker and leave.
Well, yeah, but they don't have many like sugars you can smoke. So
Yes.
I
But
mean, they had candy cigarettes, I guess.
I just don't know anybody who's needed a sugar as badly as my dad used to need his cigarettes.
I think. Are you talking about?
66.
Are you so confused on what we're doing right now? Because we are working right now. I'm not that far. Well, I'm actually pretty decent into it. It's just a lip sync. It's going to take a while. It's an anthology short. We're working on a short that is taking a bit from Better Call Saul and is ponifying it, kind of. It's a short from Better Call Saul in regards to where he tricks the witness into pointing to the person in the defendant's stand, saying, that's the person, that's exactly who it is that you're talking about. I know it's them. Then they would recognize them, but then says, oh no, that's actually not the defendant. The defendant's in the back, in the audience. That's somebody else. And it's playing off the joke in the show with Ember not being able to identify the difference between the horses because they're both purple. And so that was what this was kind of doing. Some of it's animated, but most of it isn't. But I should probably get the audio turned on.
According to your testimony, you feel confident that you can identify this person. That's what you're saying.
I can. It's him.
Are you sure that's the person? There's no doubt in your mind. Take your time.
I don't need time. That's him.
Now, would you be surprised that the person you just pointed to is not the defendant?
What?
And my client is in the back of the courtroom. Would you please stand up?
Objection.
Now, the person you ID'd
I
is
think
a
that's the other
bartender.
thing.
He has a very good alibi for the night.
Your Honor. Objection.
Oh, Mr. Goodnight. Really?
You didn't recognize him either, Your Honor.
So it's Jay had the idea, and so but he found that editing a 2D thing to make it work would have been more difficult. So I'm just animating it. It's not actually that much work for how long it is. So, but anyways, you can talk now.
No, that was my only thought I was having.
I remember you animated a scene where it's like a courtroom of Celestia back 2020. Yeah, it wasn't a courtroom. It wasn't published because it was for somebody else, and they haven't used it. And last I heard, it was still a work in progress, which
When was the last you heard that?
last 6 months. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that's done. That's been done. But it wasn't a core room. It was supposed to be like an assembly.
Yeah.
But I am actually going to steal some stuff from that. I need people in the audience to act natural. That video actually has a lot of acting natural in the audience, so it's perfect.
Your Honor,
To ask
objection.
him what isn't finished.
Your
You just need to
Honor,
animate the whole thing.
objection. Your Honor, objection. Your Honor. Honor.
Well, I'm going to have to actually. I need to work on this for a while, but starting in early July, I do want to start making a promo for Ciderfest. I talked to the con already, so they're aware. Just in case there's certain info, I already have an idea on what to do, but it's going to take a little while, and so I need to get started on it early because the last thing you want to do is like release a promo like 2 weeks before the con. I'd rather have the promo out like a month and a half or so.
That's how Charlie Cons work now.
Yeah, but it's if you're trying to get people to go, planning doesn't work well when you try to tell people, hey, you should come to this convention, and it's literally the next day.
I'm surprised the convention had as many attendees.
He even said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he says like, hey, you guys, we sold out of sponsor stuff like the day after we released sponsor stuff, but I didn't even tell you who was coming. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, that's great. Don't keep doing that though. Like, you're really gonna you're cashing in on goodwill, and you don't want to cash in on goodwill.
There's only so much goodwill in the cash.
Yeah.
I always feel sad for the people who set up the video game room. It feels like nobody uses it.
Oh no, people use it. Like, they do have like the tournaments that they run on there, and they do a lot of stuff. But it's like a lot of things. It's providing people the option. There are some people that is where they spend all their time because they just want to go and hang out there. The tabletop gaming room, like at Winnie City, was surprisingly busy.
I did see it was pretty.
There was like at least 4 or 5 tables taken at a time. There was a couple where they were playing like different games as big groups, big circles. Like, they actually had quite a few things going on there. I was really surprised.
Very busy. I think at Winnie City, it's just so far away from everything else.
Your Honor.
It's just in a weird
Your
place.
Honor. Your Honor. Your Honor.
The animation fits the audio so well. I would hope so. It's like
Well,
it
and
was
it's-
made for it.
And it's not.
Your Honor. Objection.
That's a good face. But we're not even like near done with it too.
Objection.
Need to see the upper face here. There we go. Oh, okay. There we go. Move it to there. The lid up. Michael, look, he's doing tiny mouth.
I'm gonna hit him with something if you like.
Michael, he's doing tiny mouth.
What's with his teeth? Is he an orc?
It's because he's in the middle.
He
of
goes suck suck.
It's because I have very little. I don't have. There's like 2 flexes and 1 bone that if they added, I could make this much better. But I don't have those
Don't those
options.
shark teeth imply that Spike is a meat eater?
Like to Ember move. Yeah, actually, I was very happy with how she turned out.
It's him.
The benefit I have with Ember though is she has a rig, so I can do animation much quicker.
It's him. It's him.
Some it's a little
It's him.
basic, but like that one I don't need it to be. It's literally like just over a second a shot. So,
What?
but yeah, I've done some stuff with Ember before, but I'm like I think most of the stuff I've ever done with them I've never released.
Yeah.
I think actually
It's understandable. It's easy to lose interest when animating dragons.
no, it was because it was one of those videos that you start it and you see how long it's taking you to do what is there and thinking about what it has to be done to finish it, and I was like, no, it's not worth it.
Fine, you just throw in
It
a
was.
dolphin.
I just cut. I cut my losses. Otherwise, I was going to be stuck in the lost cost fallacy for like a year to make something that would have been great. But
I keep waiting for you to knock over my drink.
no, I see your drink there.
Okay.
It's only my computer right there that has holes that lead right down to the graphics
Oh
card.
yeah, if you knock that over, if the stream abruptly ends right after you see him go, oh shit. That's
No,
what
if it's spilled there, it would first go into the fans and shoot it back up.
it would be so awful.
No, that's
I think all the more reason to get back downstairs.
that's actually one of the things I'm having some trouble with right now with going downstairs is the computer's gonna be in a slightly different spot, which means cords are gonna be a little longer. And so I'm having to go through all the cords that I'm potentially going to need, determining do I have a long enough one to work with what I need to. And because the last thing I want to do is go, everything's good, and then you have one cable that completely breaks the ability to do everything, and you have to order it or something or something. Yeah. I at least confirmed I need a 32-foot video cable to get it where I need, and I have a 35, so I'm good on that. But because this is a 2K wide, ultra wide. Not ultra wide, I think it's just wide, but whatever. It's a 3440 by 1440 high refresh rate. You need a special cable to go much more than 10 feet. And I thankfully have one. So
your time.
Okay, but I think I can.
Honor. Objection.
Let's make sure that Spike is. Oh, actually, I can't mark this scene done though, or not done, but mostly done because we have. So when she's back here, do we want to have it like she's just doing different dances?
Why would she be dancing?
Because I don't know, she's smiling like she's just doing the little wave thing there, but then have her over here like doing a little jiggy.
I don't think it would be a good idea. She should blend in with the crowd until she's pointed out.
At this shot, she would.
You ID'd is a bar.
What I'm saying after the fact.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, if you don't want cute horses doing dances,
no. I think cute horses doing dances is great.
No, Michael doesn't want it.
Can you give them all socks? There's no reason they can't have socks. It's for anthology.
Where's that face again?
It's for anthology. Jay would want you to put socks on the horse. You feel it. You should call him up right now. Jay, should I put socks on the horses?
There we go. That's
and he will say yes.
Oh, that's me. No.
That's you right now.
It's like, Your Honor, horses need socks.
Your Honor. Objection.
Yes.
Okay, so we gotta move.
Is irrelevant.
Oh yeah, I forgot. They can't see the chairs, so I didn't care here. Let's get
I don't know
just.
why she's floating.
Unlock the route. I wasn't. I don't need the chairs because they're not visible, so it's just saving on processing. It's the reason that I can only see what's in camera.
It's crazy. It's crazy that you have to save on processing.
It's not much that. The main issue is when switching shots, there's a small hitch, and the more things that are in a shot, the more it hitches. And when you're trying to time audio, it'll hitch the audio. And so I just try to do whatever I can to prevent that.
For the night in question.
There's even a little bit of one between these two shots, which actually gets me to question, like, is this actually efficient? Oh, those ceiling tiles. Okay, yep, that would be...
They're rough.
That'd be... Well, no, I just don't need that many. Okay. I don't know why, but they always do it where, like, they're partially selected, so I can see which ones, but if I don't fully select, they don't actually delete. I have to go through here, and I have to click them, but if I click between them, one little pixel, it deselects them all. So you have to be careful.
I have a question for chat.
Oh no.
You guys like pets?
I don't have pets. Like a dog or a cat or receiving pets.
Like no, like a pet, like a pet you have in your house.
Are you specific to any type of pet, or
just have pets? Do you like pets?
Do you like animals within your domain?
Yes. Or like even outside. You have two hermit cat pets are really sweet. Yes, I agree.
How would you know if their pets are sweet?
Because Philip said they're sweet. I believe him. Yes, I like pets. I have no pets, but I have a younger brother. That is fair.
That is fair, actually, yes.
See, I wanted a pet, but he won't let me have a pet.
Okay, so I'm talking about getting cat and or dog, and you're talking about getting bees.
Yeah, it's a good pet. A bee is way better than a cat. What do cats make?
Friendship.
They do not know. Cats are evil.
Okay, well, okay, then the horses are giving friendship. That's not okay.
Well, horses can get friendship. Horses are kind creatures. Cats are evil.
Bees are butts too.
Bees pollinate flowers. They make honey. They got like cooperation going on.
Cooperation?
Yeah, among the other bees. Cats, they eat, they poop.
Where's Soul Kitty?
Not here to defend cats.
Hello, Gazelle Man.
Cats aren't evil. Spotty Cat says cats aren't evil. I mean,
I feel a little biased, but I agree.
a little evil.
Cats
I've seen
cats can be assholes for sure.
Yes,
but they're also adorable.
because they are. They are adorable, and that's the only reason anybody gives them slack. Bees aren't adorable. But people have lots of bees. You know why? Because bees are useful. They actually provide.
Well, have been cats in there are. No, cats can be evil. Bees are drones made to seek out the less fortunate and to being immune to their venom. No, that's hornets, wasps.
Yes.
They are the assholes. They should die. Bees, if you leave them alone, you should be
They'll leave you
perfectly
alone.
fine.
Unless you have meat in your hand. And then they'll be like, hey, that's
like,
mine.
Like the big
Stole
bumblebees.
They're cute.
They're cute. They're adorable. You don't hurt them.
Yes.
And yes, can they sting you? Sure, but it kills them. And also, it's just don't go beat their hide with a stick. And then just don't try to fuck with them. If you just let them do their thing, they have no problem with it. It's wasps and hornets that are just made to be murdered.
Well, because it's actually kind of interesting. Paper wasps, they have a certain role in their hives.
The night in
Your Honor.
It's much better.
But once they reach a certain age, they
bartender.
basically their role no longer applies. I think it's like the male wasp. And so they don't die like a lot of drones do, where like the ant drone, once it does its thing, it either becomes a queen or it dies. The same with bee drones. Once they do their thing, they become the queen or they die. Wasp drones, though, the males, once they do their thing and they're done, they serve no purpose anymore except wandering around, trying to steal people's food and stinging the crap out of anything they come across. They basically become nature's biggest assholes. And that's where wasps basically get the wasps are assholes moniker from. Because they don't care anymore. They have no purpose except eat and sting.
So I can't really make this shot any more efficient. This is about the best. Well, I could maybe get rid of I could get rid of a little bit of the floor here. This is a shot that I am still seeing a little bit of a hitch between. And because we know how much we love hitching.
No.
What's wrong with hitch?
Gross. I wish they would just, like, when Misty becomes part of the main group, they say, sorry, Hitch, we don't have room for you. They already don't let him live in the lighthouse, and I know what you're going to say. He already lives, like, under the stairs of the police station. But,
Bartender.
like, everyone else lives in the lighthouse. He doesn't, and you know when Misty
Your
becomes, like, a
Honor.
main character in the
Objection.
show, she's probably going to live in the lighthouse, too. But you know who won't be down there?
Where does she live
Hitch.
now?
With Opaline. In the castle.
Where's the castle?
Like, way far away.
So where does she go at night?
She always goes back to the castle eventually, but then she gets sent back out again.
But
She has slept over at the lighthouse a few times.
okay, like, because I'm trying to think, like
Like she
they
does
never ask
sleepovers.
where do you live?
No, they don't really care. I think, yeah, they don't care.
Your Honor, objection.
Wait, why did she didn't get copied
Hitch
right?
dies
Your
after
Honor.
failing to defuse a bomb.
Oh,
I just want them to walk into the police station one time and he's just dead because he choked on a sandwich.
Your Honor,
Like,
objection.
it's not even a graceful death. It's just sad. Hey, the dragon just hits him with one of the beams and turns him into a potato. That dragon is also awful. It could hit itself in the crossfire too, for all I care. They're both, they deserve each other.
so what if I just for her here, just have her bolt her hooves up, and she still does the back and front, but it's just like a big ooh mouth going. Ooh.
Whatever's cutest is what you should be doing.
Well then,
Strive for cuteness. Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Your Honor,
You can do it like that. It's hard to see from a distance, but it's cute.
So what you're saying is we change the camera to be this.
Yes, don't look at Spike.
So
Like that.
like so now the video.
He's a bartender. He has a very good alibi for the night in
Your
question.
Honor, objection.
Mr.
Oh,
Your Honor,
yay!
We'll go with no.
This is a cute. And she's the only one of the main six to appear in the show so far.
objection.
The show.
Don't forget to save. I'm usually pretty good about it, but it saves every 10 minutes anyway. Anytime I go to load models or do like if I finish a shot or do certain milestone things, I always save.
They wanted this person here in the chat asking for a single joke.
I'm going around asking streamer for one joke go. Joke.
I want to hear a joke.
You're the one with all the jokes because you've lived them.
Yes, but you're the streamer. I just sit here.
I can't think of a joke off the top of my head.
Be funny right now.
Stop. Be funny.
Be funny. Be a funny man.
I mean, all the jokes I think off the top of my head are involve Michael's face.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't have to have anything to do with Joe Biden eating grapes. What was that from?
Apparently, Monster Hunter.
There's the joke. I have what the okay. I'm trying to think of it. Like, I don't know many jokes off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't keep jokes in my head. I just say things, and because every joke you remember is just going to be a dad joke.
Yeah, I'm at that age.
Yeah.
I can't think of any jokes like knock knock jokes or anything right now, or any of those.
Here, I want to find a joke.
No, you better not.
Stealing a joke.
No,
We'll
it's
find
probably going to
one.
be a story about how you hit a cat with your
No,
car.
those aren't jokes. Those are just true to life.
No, most of the stuff is just any joke is fine. Well, I would zoom in on his face, but I can't. I don't know many actual just jokes. I know memes. Actually, I had the one saved on my phone, but I don't have it saved on my computer. The Schrodinger cat one, I loved, but
See, I like this one. As I get older, I remember all the people I've lost along the way. Maybe my budding career as a tour guide was not the best call.
I've heard that one actually. It was
That was
recent.
funny.
That is a good one.
You made chat go away.
You're gonna be a.
Oh, no, I lost it. I'm fine. I lost track of it there for a
I think
minute.
Michael had a stroke.
Here,
That was a really good one. Yeah, I heard that one recently. That was actually really good. I don't remember jokes that much. I do a lot of my stuff as visual. Did I miss a? I missed two dehydrates.
see,
didn't
I like this
No,
one. It says,
I missed earlier, so cheers, felt.
it says, my mom died when we couldn't remember her blood type. As she died, she kept telling us to be positive. but it's hard without her.
See, that's dark humor.
I love dark humor. That one's a good one.
I won't say it wasn't. That actually was a pretty good one. It's a dad joke too, because it's puns. You got to look up ghost jokes.
Ghost jokes.
Yeah, for your ghost facts.
Here, I just gotta find a ghost joke about a ghost.
Be positive. I that joke to zero. He read it off his phone.
It's so funny one.
Like, I want to see like a stand-up comic be like, I got this, guys. He just goes to like funnyordie.com and reads from it. Like, my career is budding. I used to know actually a guy when I was in trucking that
Just remember
he
joke.
no he would go to a local stand-up club, and he was trying to just do stand-up as a fun little side thing, and he'd tell his friends, hey, you guys should come and see it. And so his friends would come and see it, but then they would come the second night and he'd be like, yeah, that was pretty good, but it was the same things you said the other night. Like, yeah, can't you say some new jokes? He goes, you don't think a comedian comes up with like new jokes every night? He goes, no, you're refining your act. He goes, it was at that point that my friends stopped coming to my show.
I think that's one of the things comedians always say, why it's hard to be a comedian and easy to be a musician. Because a musician can go up and play the same song over and over and again, and people love it every time. Where a comedian, if they can't come up with new jokes, people stop paying attention.
To a degree, like I went and saw, what was his name? The guy that did the tater salad. Ron White or something. I want to say Ron Jeremy, but I know that's not it.
No.
It's Ron something.
It's
from
Ron
the
White.
Ron White. Yeah, from the blue collar.
Yeah.
We went down. Yeah, Ron White. Thank you, Jinxie. I love checking stuff out. Otherwise, people don't get joke in their head. Yeah. No, I went to see him live once, and it was a full auditorium, and there was some unique jokes that they do that are specific to the location that they come up with. But then, as soon as he started the skit about the tater salad, like everybody started cheering. He hadn't even said the jokes yet. He just literally said the first line of it, and everybody knew where he was going with it, and they were just excited to hear it again.
Because it was the joke they saw on TV.
Yeah, it was the popular one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was neat. But like we had nosebleed seats there. Like, oh my god, it was like, hey, look, I think I see him over there. I think he's the one on the light down in that corner. Like we were so far away. It was fun though.
It does sound like fun.
I did that, and then it was like 3 years later, I ended up going to college in that city. So
here's a nice joke. When does a joke become a dad joke?
When does a joke become what?
When it leaves you and never comes back.
Ouch.
Oh. These are good ones. I gotta find one about ghosts.
Oh, I gotta make this much quicker. Like this.
My parents raised me as an only child, which really pissed off my sister.
You're having fun.
I gotta find a joke. I gotta find a ghost one.
I have a joke that I took like 30 times today to 23 times today to 30 different people. What do you get when you throw a bunch of tape in a fire? A fire mixtape.
Ooh. There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's a funny one, but I gotta find a. Okay, fine. I threw a boomerang a few years ago. Now I live in constant fear.
I've heard that one too.
That was pretty funny. The jokes people come up with are great.
like I love the jokes that people come up with, and I can state and get people to laugh. Look at all the credit I get.
No, that's how it works. That's why people still tell the chicken crossing the road joke all these years later. It still gets the laughs. Some of these I've heard. Jeez. Some of these are a little too dark.
How are they too dark?
Just did it as rough.
All right, have me do my mission. Well, good luck, Slim.
Okay, bye-bye.
Problem. And I had a joke about milk, but it already got spoiled.
Haha.
I see what you did there. Okay, so now I have to figure out what cadence she moves at. So she's like from here to here. It's about twice as long. I have to stretch this.
I gotta type in specifically a ghost joke. Ghost joke. These are all gonna be corny. I can feel it. I gotta find a legit funny one. Wow, these are bad.
Like bad, or
Like the really like Disney / Hallmark Channel dad jokes. Like what key does the ghost use to get through the door? The spook key. Then you shoot yourself.
Okay.
So
okay, I'll give you that one. It was basically the 1,000 jokes for an 8-year-old
yes.
type ones. I already saw right through that ghost joke. Get it?
I already saw right through the ghost joke.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it. I did find one. It's like I found out my girlfriend is really a ghost. I had my suspicions the moment she walked through the door. Get it?
Okay.
Yeah.
She's dead.
Yeah.
Also, why is he like dating a
ghost?
A ghost.
Better than I'm doing. I ain't gonna judge the man. I've seen the movie Ghost, and that was pretty hot.
I don't know if I want to have Whoopi Goldberg give me big old hugs. No,
I want Whoopi Goldberg to give me big old hugs. What are you talking about? She's amazing. What? This is so bad. All right. This is the one I'm going to use because it's horrible and I'm going to have to leave after I say it. What did the ghost say when it woke up with a bad hangover? Man, I really need to lay off the booze.
Yeah.
You're all allowed to hate me now. I don't blame you, any of you.
I'm going to agree with Silver and say, please tell him he's live.
You know what a ghost is never? Never live.
Uh-huh. So is Twilight looking nice?
I feel like you've gone and turned her into a cute, wavy pony, into a waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Mayor. Okay, fair. Yes.
Get it right.
Haha. That's a good one, Spotty. It says, where would an astronaut park his spaceship? Up parking meteor. Bada boom. What do you mean ghost facts? I just gave a ghost jokes. You want ghost facts and ghost jokes? Jeez.
That's what I was trying to get them to do.
Well, ghost fact. It is possible to contact ghosts through Skype, but only Skype. It's like a Ouija board. It's old and decrepit and probably owned by Mattel. And if you log on to Skype, it's just dead people and a few businessmen. When was the last time anybody here used Skype? It's full of ghosts now.
A year ago.
Really?
Work.
That makes sense.
Skype is owned by Microsoft, but they're pushing Teams now. So,
yeah. I've used Teams. About 3 months ago, well, there's ghosts on there. It's all ghosts.
So there you go. Is he going?
Yep. I suppose. I don't know that this is better.
Could I just
I'm
put
not going to
this?
talk you out of it.
We could do like that for her on all the other shots, but when she goes to get up, like have her start really low, like how they, the inflatable arm man, like do the snap up first, like what?
Oh my goodness.
No, what did you come back to, Michael?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, well I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah. I
But
figured that.
I can always change it. I do like that she's just back there, like doing her thing, and
Doing all the drugs. Didn't we just talk about this?
well, Spike's gonna be the one in focus, which I'm gonna do right now.
Well, when she gets out of the chair, she should be the one.
No, at this, when she does, yes, that is part of that. But if for right now, Spike is the one in focus. She'll just be the one. And actually, in the actual other shot, he was invisible. But it's because when somebody's standing and they went lower angle, it went up to the ceiling. Spike is way too short. I can't do anything about it. If I go any closer, the table's kind of in the way. I can. Hold on. I technically.
Twilight Struck's kicking in. Yeah.
If I got rid of the table, I could do like this, I think.
Silly Twilight.
And if I do a little bit of a twist to the camera here like this, maybe. I could probably get away with that. And then let me put the table back. So I'm in the table now. Then you put the table like here. So technically he's like doing some like sexy crawl across the table.
Oh yeah.
He's like, Spike's coming for you.
This
Ooh,
is the
baby.
video everybody's been waiting for. It's sexy Spike time.
But Twilight wants her time.
Hey, Twilight time.
Twilight time. And then we can just take Twilight. Just move her like there.
Is there a jury in this trial or no?
There is, and in the original, there is a small little piece that does show them for like a second. But the amount of time it would take to build a full jury for like a less than a second shot wasn't worth it compared to mixing in a couple extra shots of Ember or something and utilizing that a little bit more. I'd see that there was a stupid face from Monterang. I think I'm good saving there. Spike's like, oh no, not this.
Don't do it.
not the other fire. I like the sudden change in his pupils. It actually works better because I wanted to make sure that there's whites in his eyes, but when he gets angry, they close a little bit. So I had to I shrink his pupils so that you actually stick out white because it makes it look like desperation of like freaking out a little bit. Okay, so just because. Also, I go every time.
Why you gotta do the poop
Every
one?
time she goes, because she's.
I don't like the poop one. I like the plunger.
You don't like her?
No, I do like her. I like the plunger. I just don't like that.
But she.
No, don't do it.
She gonna get it.
Don't do it. There's a better way.
Get that poop. It never gets old.
I do like the freaking apple bloom. I don't like this one so much. Or just not being nice to Derpy.
Okay. Derp's on fire again. She is always on fire. I love it. How did the space teddy bear cross the road? Ewoked.
Get it?
Okay, that one is a little bit of a stretch.
No, I like it.
Because you have to add E to the beginning.
No, it's an Ewok. From Star Wars.
I know an Ewok is, but what is an Ewok in normal sense?
It's in Star Wars.
No, like
he walked.
He walked. Okay.
Yeah.
But what about that's gender appropriation?
E. Back home.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
She gets rubies.
She already had a knife. So.
All right. Monterey, do you have a horse? I need a horse. Pick a horse. I need to go get more booze. All right, wait, I haven't finished this booze.
You're like, I need more booze, but I haven't finished this booze, but I need more booze.
Now I need more booze. I do like it.
They can't answer because you paused the chat. I want to unpause the chat. There we go. Derp's on fire again. Yes. Or I was reading chat. You got Monterey? Gotta pick a horse. What horse do you want to use? Do you want to get stupid? Stupid face it did. Nolan's already like set you up to drink. He's got to dehydrate ready for you.
Oh, you have booze yet?
He's working on it. Slow. Because there haven't been any sodas in the fridge in a long time.
I've been constantly putting them in the fridge. You take one out, you put one in.
I've been taking them out from under there. I just been drinking warm sodas.
No, put them in the thing.
I've been drinking warm sodas.
How hard is it to put it in the thing?
Very. That's why I've been drinking warm sodas.
God. You want watered down booze.
I don't like warm booze.
No.
The ice is gonna make it cold. He's complaining.
In the fridge so I can have it, and you guys drink them all. And I have another
Guys, like I haven't had a cold soda in a week. Now he's upset. See, apparently Fluttershy's gonna stab you. Nolan is like threatening 2 Argos with a stabby horse. He got beer.
Okay, yeah. All right. If there's sodas in the fridge, you take one out, you put another one in. I have filled that so many times and I haven't gotten a single one out of it because they just keep being taken and drank while they're cold, and then I'm left with the warm ones. Fill the goddamn fridge.
I'm gonna do dishes after. My contribution.
I don't want to have it where you put an ice cube in and then it gets cold, but then you have literally half your drink is just water now.
Darn lazy rice.
Yeah.
Hey man, I haven't seen a cold soda in there in a while.
I always put 4 in and then I go in over later and then there's like none left.
When did you guys put some in?
Earlier this week.
Well then it wasn't me. I haven't had a soda out of there in a while.
Well.
Earlier this week would have been yesterday.
It's literally like, oh, I'm gonna grab a drink. I'm gonna put one out of here, put one in, and take the cold one.
You know.
I can't wait till I have my own fridge downstairs. You fuckers stop touching it. Anyways, cheers, Nolan. I like putting ice in a drink, but I like to have it as a filter. I don't want to have it where it's just literally watered down. Always get beverages that force you to immediately put it in the fridge. Oh, it doesn't matter. Even if you had to want it like juice, if it said that you'd still like drink it from outside the fridge. There is still one drink in there that you haven't touched.
What's that?
There's a horse drink.
Oh, you're right. I gotta get my horse drink. Wait, not that one.
It's there. No, you said you got to get it.
Okay, I'll go get the horse.
It's. I think it's like fell down in the back because it's laying in its own filth. You have so many of those. All right. Replace one you take out. What kind of degenerate cult practice is that? You always wait till the last can to restock. Well, the problem with waiting until the last can is when you have 3 people that are there. If somebody takes the last can, but then somebody else wants another one, now there's not cold ones. It takes time. So that's where I'm at now. So
this is what you meant, right? This is the horse drink.
I don't know when you bought the one.
Look at how sassy she is. She's sassy. It looks like she got hit in the head.
Yeah, because you're gonna suck her brains out.
Yeah, she's grape flavored.
Is there anything for horse? If there's no suggestions, I put for Sonata Dusk or Aunt Orange. Redemption. We've done. I don't know if we've ever done Sonata. I know we've done.
She's the taco one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But she's not a horse.
Are you sure?
She's a siren. She's not supposed to be a horse. I see that somebody made her a horse, but that's like, okay, now this is like they made her a mermaid, a mer horse.
So she kind of just looks like she's floppy. It doesn't make much sense. They're standing like normal and then have the tail, because whatever positions you needed to do in for like swimming don't work for a standing position. So it's a really bad T pose.
You collect all the tots for both G4 and G5. I think I have all of them except for Applejack. I have not been able to find Applejack.
What's going on here? Oh yeah, massage. Forgot about that.
I'm just gonna drink out of the bottle.
I forgot they're also up there. Is there a proper siren model pack? Oh, she's like, I just broke her. Let's go see. Like
the actual siren version of her?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's not a pony. Maybe you have them kiss. I don't know. No, there's just like the mermaid. Oh no, there's.
So there's the mermaids ones.
Yeah, there's the siren ones.
This is actually kind of cool.
That's what she acts.
Syndrome. There's like 3 or 4 people in the community that like actually put effort into making unique models, and Syndrome is one of them.
But that's not cute, so nobody wants that one. They want the pony, and I don't blame them.
What about this one?
No.
Oh no, that's what they want. You can't always get what you want. Sometimes other people need to get what they want.
Everyone wants ponies. How dare you say the sirens aren't cute? They're cute when they're ponies.
Michael doesn't want anything but ponies. Because I think if you go, because I think to Michael's like, he's like, oh, look at the cool little ponies. But then the sirens are like 17. He's like, I can't say that.
Well, wasn't that Adam? He was like, where he's just like, see, they're human, they're better. I'm like, you think it's better when they're high school girls? And he's like, wait, I feel like I've been walked into a trap. I think Rainbow's head is broken.
You can not awaken them. Wait, her last name is Duck? Oh, okay, they just spelled it wrong. It's Dusk, but somebody put it's not a duck. I like that. Okay, so they're awakened, but how do you like unawaken them? can't. So the only models that exist of them are them with like pony ears. Also, how does the hair get thicker as it comes down? I mean, that's kind of feeling like my hair where it's like thinner at the base. But, okay, well, that's fine. There should be, but at least I'm not finding them on here. Well, actually, let me just search Sonata. Ah, okay. There is, but it looks like they're all individual, which is kind of stupid. That's why I thought searching for Siren would give me like a different like multi-pack. And go away. You horse. There we go. Look at that. We got Sonata Dusk. Okay. All right. Then what's Sonata gonna do? Good. Use the same rig too. Yes, I'd found it just about the same time you did, probably. I've definitely seen them without pony ears. Yeah, I was pretty sure. Well, it wouldn't make much sense if somebody made a special version of them without releasing the less effort, lower version. So that's not where I want to go. There. Okay. What is she gonna do? I'm guessing it's gonna be something with tacos. I'm doing well. You already asked me, but yeah, how is everybody else doing? That might be popped up recently. Why am I search taco? Does it go catacomb? Catacomb has the word taco in it. Oh, my mind right there. Ooh.
Human Sonata. Gross. Look at her weird head.
She turned in shame.
This Rainbow Dash head is broken. It's not supposed to spin freely like that. Which means I can't get any of the juice out. Mm-hmm. Because I can't create suction.
Wait, so you can't use the head?
No. Putting on my pants.
It's sugar.
No, it's
No, it's not. There's a ton of sugar in that.
it's for kids. They're trying to reduce their sugar. 3 grams of sugar.
Yeah, it's for, I love how you just are like, it's made for babies. As I drink it. What's on the bottom of it?
What do you mean? Shavings?
Oh, it might have been over where the corn was in the fridge.
Oh yeah. The corn bits. My Rainbow Dash, Rainbow Dash grape juice with the corn bits. This is how some people live. Don't copy me, children. What are you doing with this child?
Hmm?
No video. What are you doing to this child? You're making a taco car. You were making a taco car.
Yeah, making a taco car.
It would make it better
No horse.
if she was a pony.
Not why?
I know you have the model already.
No, but you said it didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. I just said it wasn't correct.
Yeah, so
But
I fixed it.
Better.
I fixed it.
How is it fixing?
This is what you wanted.
I feel like everyone got to become a human except for Spike. I just want one episode where Spike were in a different dragon walks through the portal, and they also become human. And Spike's like, "Wait, I thought dragons became dogs." Like, no, Spike, it's just you, because you were born without a soul. That's the price of being born with magic.
Yeah, I know how he feels.
Yeah,
I have red hair.
Yeah, true. It's funny that even the diamond dogs turn into people. But Spike's a dog. I feel like Winona would pass through the portal and just become like a business person that barks. I already like the taco car. This is a very good idea.
It's the taco car.
That's what you need to do. You need to take like a clip from Wacky Races and just create weird cars for ponies to drive. She should have Sweetie Belle in the taco car with her.
Why?
Because she's Taco Bell. Sweetie Belle, Taco Bell.
Or no.
Oh. But she could have a tiny little horse. It's like,
No, you're just trying to find every excuse to improve it.
yes. No, wouldn't it be cute if she was like holding a tiny little Sweetie Belle and Sweetie Belle was all happy? I think so.
Feel like I gotta find a better steering wheel than that.
I do feel like they put extra effort into Rainbow. Oh, that valve is important. That wasn't just any valve, that was the valve. Ooh, you got a tricycle? How have you not used the tricycle yet?
Well, nobody requested
Scootaloo
it.
needs to be riding that.
This one?
To be a tricycle queen. Tricycle princess. I approve of Tiny Pony being held by Big Sonata. See? Vanilla Bean thinks it's a good idea. Those are very big poles.
Perfect.
I feel like if, yeah. It's like every time I see the taco thing, it's both Sonata and Sweetie. You do you.
I feel like you just try to always influence whatever it is that's on the screen by like just talking some weird shit. You're like, but most people put these two together. Yeah, but now I feel like you've got to the point of like all you do is you're used to just getting your way.
Yeah.
No,
Like
not anymore. We're done. You know
The
what?
child who demands.
This taco car is getting set on
Cookies.
fire if I put Sweetie Belle in it.
Why? Why didn't you set it on fire without putting Sweetie Belle in it? Wait, because you put a pony in it, you gotta set it on fire. No.
So I mean, if you want, I can put Sweetie Belle in there.
No, don't set Sweetie Belle on fire. Why do you hate
No,
ponies?
you would do it. That's up to you.
Why do you hate ponies? See how this is?
Yeah, I definitely hate ponies. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, it's either you hate ponies or you hate my happiness. The laughter of a child.
Oh, this is a little bit weird from the other end, but that's fine. All right, and then we need to.
Ooh, I got children's now. Big wheels, or they were called in my day, bumper splatter. Who called them bumper splatter? I wanted a big wheel when I was a kid, but my family couldn't. They were like a couple $100s for a kid's toy, and most families didn't have that kind of money. I think they're fairly cheap now. Like, because back when I was a kid, they were pricey. And they ran on like one lead acid battery, so they were a super pricey toy you could play with for like 20 minutes, and then the battery would run low, and then you'd spend the day having to recharge them. But that was like the original big wheels. But the commercials sure made them look cool. Have a good night. A good night charging.
Yeah, good night, charging.
Make sure you give him a follow and then unfollow him for not putting more ponies in your video.
But I lied. Okay, so there's your steering wheel. Okay, so now we gotta get Sonata. She's knee deep in tacos.
It's like all the meat. Taco is the forbidden flavor.
She's
It's
getting.
like, look, ma, no hands.
She's prepping. Okay, so there's.
And now I want tacos. So that's a really good looking like 3D animated taco. We'll put some extra effort.
It's not
into that
animated.
one. 3D taco within an animation. Does that taco have bones?
No, it's boneless.
Yes. You beat me to the chat. Is that taco boneless? The pizza wasn't boneless. Using the derpy video, that pizza had bone.
Because it was using the bodies of their enemies.
That's pizza stew.
Okay.
Got her taco car.
She's presenting a little more than
Yeah, a
she
little
needs to,
bit.
but
I wasn't gonna say anything, but
she's
she's like they look under her skirt though, and there's just it's just there's nothing there.
it's a void.
Literally. It goes into the void. It's what Doctor Who looked at. The void stared back.
You know what?
Because I'm pretty sure the modeler was like, you know what? I'm just not going to put anything here because people are weird. I don't want people being weird.
I'm not gonna optimize effort on this. I'm just gonna be like, okay, so her hand needs to close. Boom, it's closed.
Like, it is weird that they went through the effort of giving these characters basically cutie marks on all of their clothes, but they didn't have cutie marks. I don't
Yeah,
think.
because they're in the human world. They were trying to be analogous.
Well, their siren versions don't have cutie marks. I don't think.
It's just got her wheel.
I do think those characters did appear again in a later episode of Equestria Girls, but I haven't seen all of Equestria Girls to know for sure. Because the end of Rainbow Rocks, they just kind of ran away.
Yeah, there's some Green Machine related deaths as well. Okay, her thumb is a little bit weird. Please fix that.
I think I only watched the Equestria Girl stuff up to the movie the movie where they go up to a camping trip, and there's like a girl who turns into like a lion monster or something, and that was pretty much the last Equestria Girls thing. I know there's a lot more than that, but not enough ponies. As the Equestria Girl stuff went on, they had the ponies less and less. Except that one episode, which is amazing. And I think there was an episode where Sunset goes to Pony World, which is kind of cute for a little bit.
Just go scatter tackle car. Okay. And then she's select to taco car.
I have to confess, Vanilla Bean, I like Equestria Girls when they turn into horses, which happens, but it's not very often. Oh no, she's become too powerful.
She has gained the taco power.
Taco power's activate.
Look at them feet.
It's like, wait to the west from you.
Okay, we're gonna lack the route to it. No.
I particularly like the one where they turned into ponies because Twilight's freaking out, but Rainbow Dash is like, I'm a pony? I can fly? I'm a pony, I'm a pony. And Rainbow Dash is like super excited about being a pony. As one should be.
So it's the rig that's doing it. So I bet you if I don't, I'm not going to do anything more with her. I'm just detach the rig. And yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where they turned into ponies. That's my favorite Equestria Girls thing too. Like, it's pony me. If you watch nothing else Equestria Girl, watching that, because it's like the episode where people are like, you go to Equestria, you turn into a horse, and you're finally happy. Hold on, I was hoping it would go right through her head.
No, it's scaling compounds on top of scaling, and it just gets a little bit messy sometimes. So I'm just trying to adjust to make up.
It's the taco car is spicy.
Hello, Stig. How's the taco cart? It's going good. It's got a taco cart.
What kind of hot sauce is in the taco?
Hold on, we need.
It's very important. We gotta put a muffler on the taco car.
It's. There we go.
Big standard muffler. Sunset going to date and Rainbow Dash spanks Sunset. I missed that one, Nolan. Oh wait, is that the one where time keeps going back? I think I actually saw that scene. I think someone posted it, and I caught bits and pieces of the episode where like time keeps resetting.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Rainbow Dash keeps slapping Sunset on the butt just over and over and over again.
Okay, so there's exhaust.
Oh, was it a Groundhog Day special? That's funny. Does she now? Well, knowing that Rainbow enjoys mares does add extra context to that scene. Like, you've slapped me on the butt 15 times today. I don't remember that. Well, I do. He's a cute horse. Boop, boop. Like, these bottles are pretty cool because they go through a lot of effort to make sure that the heads of these ponies are actually show accurate and have some expressiveness to them as well. Like, if they released figurines with this quality for the whole figurine, I'd buy it heartbeat. But you don't really see that very often in the toy stores. And part of me just quietly hopes that somebody from Hasbro is just casually checking, see if anybody's breaking any C&D rules. And they just hear that, he would buy them, huh? Perhaps we should. It could happen. If we all just say real loud, give us Fallout Equestria, we would pay all of our monies. Maybe it'll happen. Concentrating on his taco car. He's actually very into this.
No, I've gone through the motions.
No.
Okay, so there. Okay, there she goes. The smoke is a little bit.
That's perfect.
This girl was. It's a little. Hold on, we're gonna.
It would be better if the smoke was like putting. That's what it's just like.
I think I put a little bit like strong on the emission.
Can you have it be intermittent? Can you have it start and stop and start and stop and start and stop? Or if I ask too much. Alright, I need something besides grape juice. With 75% less sugar. Yeah, but like grape juice is a very sugary juice. That's why you can make wine out of it without having to do anything. The fact that it only had 3 grams of sugar and they removed, how did you remove sugar? Is this even grape juice at that point? Or is this just like grape concentrate that's just been watered down to heck and back?
Some of these I don't know.
It's kind of
okay. That one looks putty.
17 seconds of butt slaps. Did somebody put them all together? Oh, they did. Yeah, somebody just strung together all the butt slaps from Rainbow Dash into a compilation. Because of course they did.
There, okay, is that better?
Yes.
Oh, she stopped. I feel like
going so fast.
This needs to be improved.
The thing is,
Oh no, she's polluting the environment.
yes, she's the reason the air quality is so bad. She needs to get an emission check on that one.
I gave it. The properties are weird because you have to kind of think of it like machine code. Of you can't just tell it to have a life because you also have to tell it how to get rid of itself. So even though it says, "Oh, it'll decay at this point," if you don't tell it how to do that, it's not going to matter.
You did the Rose problem.
Hmm?
Just keep Captain Jack alive forever.
Essentially, that's what it did.
Powered by taco farts? Gross.
What did exist? That's not much better, but anyway, she's you know, I can I want to do movement basic. We're going to put a little bit less gravity in there. We're going to increase the maximum to 5,000. And emit noise to 300. And radius scale, end scale, we're going to put it at 2. There we go. There she goes. Oh, yeah, those. We can probably, maybe not so much of that scale. We're going to drop that down to 1. And then, let's get rid of that. Okay. There she goes. There you go, Michael. We're gonna go.
It's far worse. She's the worst polluter in all the world.
She's making light. Yeah, light. Look, Taco, bless us with your presence. There you are. I said a sighting.
She is a god now. Great frog.
she's the taco goddess. Oh no. Like, it literally, there are so many particles that it just runs like crap. I'm gonna fix that. Like, that's a little bit much. She did it. She made a white hole. Tacos. There we go. She's doing like there. I wish I could make it dark, but particles get really weird with dark. Depending on how the texture is saved, the black can be considered transparent, or just the opposite of visible. It's like the darker the texture, the more it should be unseen. So if you try to make it dark, sometimes it just ends up being nothing. But anyways, that was Superface. Did you do your taco song?
Taco song?
It was 18 minutes ago. There was a taco song. Are you not paying attention to your?
I was.
I'm gonna put like little things like a car battery and then like little things to your nipples.
All right. Well, now I couldn't do it until you finished the taco car, so now I can do the taco song.
Okay.
Driving around, eating tacos, driving around in our taco car, driving around in the taco car to go get tacos. Tacos here, tacos there, tacos everywhere. Gonna find tacos in your hair and your underwear. We're gonna eat tacos for days and hours and weeks and forever and until the end of time. And then after the end of time, the tacos will become the universe. Cause it's taco time all the time, every time. Tacos, taco time. There you go, that's the taco song. Did it.
I just realized that the entire time she's just been driving above the ground.
It's fun. It's loud.
No, she's a little better. She got a taco car.
I still love the color of that. Adam died.
Was that supposed to... That is the perfect response.
Was that supposed to be the taco song? What do you mean was that supposed to be the taco song? That was the best song that's ever been sung about tacos. Tacos.
What about the pizza at Taco Bell?
I'm a taco. From a taco. I want to be your taco dinner this year. Taco. A gobble taco.
So now that I did that,
Taco. Need a taco.
to catch up,
Tacos. Delicious tacos.
so Vanilla Bean asks, even though this is SFM, do you still animate with keyframes or in betweens? I usually just do keyframes. Well, not I would say it's more of I do posing. So in betweens would be nice you can get nice detail off of in betweens, but you also spend a lot more time. What I ended up doing is I just do pose to pose. So I just do the important stuff and then I meld it from there and make it work. I'm not as much worried about trying to make a great product as much as I am about trying to just get it done, because YouTube doesn't like you when you spend too long on something, and when it already takes months to sometimes finish something, I'm already like killing any potential to make any YouTube anything. So I might as well try to do what I can to get it out as quickly as possible. So YouTube is not fun for animators unless it's your actual full-time job, and even then it's rough, and I don't have that time. So,
and I'm gonna eat a taco soon. I am already on my way. Cause when I get my taco eats, I eat them all away.
No, except for here, I think I just had her be like she was sitting, then she was forward, and then she was back. That's the only 3 I actually keyframed. Just the main important positions. Everything else I just blended together. Oh yeah, so I can. Well, I gotta fix the ceiling here. Okay, so there is going to be a couple lights, so I need to go and grab the fixes from a couple of these.
Sorry, part of the house is exploding. It's back to Animate the Dragons.
No, I just need a couple ceiling tiles here.
Tacos in the morning, tacos in the evening, tacos at supper time. When tacos are on a taco shell, you can eat tacos anytime.
I think you're gonna say tacos are on a taco. I still need a couple more. I didn't think I actually would extend that far.
So yeah, I'm creating different versions and we're spitballing ideas for taco songs. Taco Man.
Okay.
Taco Man.
I probably don't need to worry about the vent that's over there.
Eating all these tacos all alone.
Yeah, it's not visible. One of them might be.
Oh, it's raining tacos. Didn't they use that as torture?
Maybe.
Against prisoners, that song? Or no, they were trying to drive away homeless. That's what it was. And they were using that song.
It's Raining Men?
It's raining tacos.
I didn't know there was a song.
Yeah, it's an actual song.
No.
It's very unpleasant. It's raining tacos. Hallelujah. It's raining tacos. Hallelujah. Yeah. Eating tacos is nostalgic. Nostalgically cruel. Look at that dancing pony. I like that dancing pony. What have you had? You need to animate dancing ponies.
Michael, look at his
Spike.
his nose wiggles.
Wait, what? Who's nose wiggling? Spike.
Look. If you had the option to boop his snoot and nobody, but you couldn't boop anybody else's, would you at least take that?
No.
Because I mean, it was probably originally modeled off of the same shape of the pony ones. Like, if I were to just show you this, Michael, and I said, "Would you boop that?" You would probably be like, "Yes." But then I would be like this, and then you would be like, I am cutting that hand off.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Wait, I was gonna.
Then it would be in your beard. You'd still boop
I don't know if I
spike.
got to this.
I'm
I was
pretty
gonna
sure
check something.
you would touch his skin. It would be all scaly and slimy and nasty. His nose probably runs because he's a child. So you probably have some sort of dragon disease all over your hand. You'd have to cut it off. You'd have to cut off your hand at that point.
Oh yeah, I probably should worry about his
Look
tongue.
at his teeth. He definitely needs to eat. He's supposed to. He'd probably like just eat the rest of your arm. That's something against scales. It's not fur. First off, it's not fuzzy.
Your Honor.
It's not. Yeah, no. Fuzzy fur ponies.
I sometimes forget about animating tongues.
Cold blooded. I don't know that the fandom has really decided on whether Spike is a pet or a like a member of their society.
I would not say pet. I would say whether or not they consider him an animal.
Well,
Because like dragons aren't in any other sense a pet. But
But here's the thing. Aloysius was number 2 assistant. He was number 1 assistant. So she clearly put him on like the same level as her pet Al. Or at least they were competing for the position of assistant.
yeah, and he was fighting for it.
Yeah, he was losing. Not even the best pet that Twilight has. Go Taco Racer. Oh, this is Speed Racer, Taco Racer. Deja Taco. Hey, Spike was the best mailbox in the show. It's true. If you hit him with a bat, you could just stand him right back up and he'd still keep working. Pretty useful. And if he broke, you could get a new one.
Your Honor. Objection. Your Honor.
See, Twilight right there having a good old time.
Honor.
Wow, there is no like front of his tongue.
No, nobody thought anybody would actually use it.
Honor.
Spike.
Your Honor. Objection.
I
Objection.
mean, even his parents didn't want
Your
him. That's why they
Honor,
abandoned him as like
objection.
an egg. They just saw that egg and they were just like gross. And they just gave it to ponies. They were just like, here, you eat this. And Celestia just took him like, you know what? I'm gonna give this to a child to do magical experiments on. And then he was
She
born.
did kind of birth him,
She did, kinda.
Objection.
but that's like saying that if you
She contributed.
go into your fridge and crack an egg and there's the duck inside, that you're the mother. Like she only cracked the egg.
Yeah. The fact that they gave the egg to a child in the first place just kind of shows how little they cared.
There was I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Like, if she kills this, then nothing is lost. Semi grimdark.
Yeah, this one I love this one. Oh, they did it with some rather random character. I just, well, this is the more popular one. This is probably, yeah. I don't know if this is the mythology or something, but I remember seeing it. I just love it. It's just like, yeah, there it is. No.
Sure. Mine was cute.
Just, it's just such a good edit because it just works. Yeah. Just the spinning of the hair.
Well, I think he was holding a telescope.
Yeah, I know, but still. Yeah, that's one I remember.
The episode.
Okay.
Princess Spike.
Your Honor. Your Honor. Objection. Your Honor. Objection. Honor.
I probably can move the camera up just a little bit more. To there, that's fine. Okay, now we're going to actually do what we were planning before. Let's get the end first. Positioning, that's fine.
I mean, Spike, for all intents and purposes, was an accident. There's no getting around it. He was birthed because some child they gave the egg to had like a crazy moment of magical power. And one of the things Celestia probably thought after it happened was like, darn it, I was going to use that egg for my omelet after this. And she went and like magically brought it to life. Piece of crap. I'm going to have to keep her around so I can put her to work to buy more eggs. And that's the true story of why she became her student. That she could make her
Your
buy
Honor.
all the eggs.
Objection.
I love that when I randomly get that. It's like a Muppet moment.
You know something I want to do.
I don't know.
Sometime.
Your Honor.
Ostrich egg.
Objection.
How hard do you think that is?
Your Honor.
Ostrich egg.
Objection.
Make a big old omelet.
I know, like, I think it was at the sausage place we go to that they have an ostrich omelet. Or not, an ostrich.
Is it ostrich meat or is it
Ostrich meat.
Okay, I don't want ostrich meat. I want ostrich egg.
So you don't want to eat the adult, you want to eat the child.
Yes. Well, the embryo.
Objection.
To eat the embryo. You crack open the egg.
You crack it open, you're like,
chicken
this
inside.
baby is only half formed.
Yes. No, because I've eaten ostrich before. It's fine.
Objection.
I even remember back in
Objection.
Kentucky, there were some
Objection.
farmers actually trying to raise some emus because they thought they were going to be the next big thing.
Objection.
It didn't really happen. People wanted it to happen. It didn't really happen. But there was a brief
Objection.
time where if you walked into like a grocery store,
Objection.
most of them had ostrich meat.
Objection. Your Honor.
And it is good.
Your
It
Honor.
is very tasty. It's just hard to keep them because they jump over standard
Your Honor.
fences.
Objection.
Cows are
Objection.
fat and lazy. They don't really get out much.
Objection. Objection.
But no, I want to do an ostrich egg because one of those could probably feed like 4 people. Just one egg.
Objection. Objection. Objection.
Oh, that's much better,
Objection.
guys.
Your Honor.
Put that on my bucket
Objection.
list.
Okay, that looks pretty
Your
good.
Honor. Objection.
So you don't want to eat the adult, you want to eat the child. The embryo. Michael. Yes, thank you, Sir Edward.
Okay, there we go. We can mark that one done.
I wish to eat unfertilized ostrich embryos.
Science discovered dragons. How likely will be in supermarket shelves?
Dragon meat sounds
Michael has brought up before that if there's one thing he has a dream to ever eat,
Yes, it's mammoth.
woolly mammoth.
Yes, this is why I think mankind needs to bring them back.
He wants them back so he can eat them.
Yes, they clearly have had. They had to have been delicious. Them and the dodo bird. Like
Oh, all I have left is
people
the
ate them to
talking.
death because they were so tasty.
I've done all of the not talking scenes because they were easier to start with, but now all I have left is the hard ones. was hoping to be able to get some of the talking done ahead of time, but I did not. I should have time this week, so I might be able to get at least one of these.
Oh, I
started.
do. Yeah, they did make the mammoth meatball, didn't they?
Was it made of actual meat, mammoth, or something equivalent?
It was taken from.
It's not the same.
They took mammoth DNA and they basically grew mammoth meat in a petri dish.
Yeah, but
And
you
then
want to see the mammoth grow, have a family, get old, and then be like, and now
No,
take
not
it.
too old to be chewy.
Okay, before their children get to see, or before he sees his children off to college.
Right after
cheers
he
to the
sees his child born, that's when I wanted that. I want that mammoth to grow up without a father.
Okay. Let's see.
Sure, that's the person. There's no doubt in your mind. Would you be surprised that the person you just pointed to is not the defendant? My client is in the back of the
Twilight is
courtroom.
innocent because she is
Tender- He
He's
has a
also
very good.
adorable, which makes her also innocent, double innocent.
This scene I want to hold off on because I'm thinking about adding in the extra little bit because I have to cut off.
Bartender.
It's a bartender. I might re-add in where they said bartender from Belize. It's a bad cut. The other cuts that I did actually are very unnoticeable. This one is, so I might re-add it. And so I don't want to do that one quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
She's not innocent because she's on a corn. I don't know if she quite writes the laws yet.
According to your
She will
testimony,
soon.
you feel confident
doesn't feel
that you
like
can
it
identify
anymore.
this person. That's what you're saying.
That's one
Okay.
thing I wonder if they'll ever bring up in G5. Where did Celestia and Luna go?
Sure, that's the person. There's no doubt in your mind.
Sadly, this is going to be easier lip syncing compared to even this shot.
You sure that's the person? There's no doubt in your mind.
It's like 11 words in 2 seconds.
According to your testimony,
I mean, that's 3 words.
you feel confident
That's 6 words.
to identify this person. That's what you're saying.
There's only a couple more words in this 6.5 seconds than this 2 seconds. It's so much easier to do lip syncing when it's slower
Be
words.
surprised that the person you just pointed to is not
mean-
the defendant.
That's a little quicker, but not so bad.
My client is in the back of the
I
courtroom.
like Dragon with tastes like
Tender-
alligator.
he has a
I'm
very
alligator
good
before,
alibi
I'm not
for
that
the-
impressed. Very chewy.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to start this one. Actually, I can't look up this trick.
lawyer.
Hmm?
I forgot about the name tag.
Yeah, it's only in this shot though. I haven't actually added it to all the others. Well, no, I haven't even added it to the other ones. I will have to at some point, but when I start poking at that shot, that'll be one of the first things I need to double check. But you guys can remind me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to unlock.
When are you gonna
Copy.
do a pillow fight anime?
Never.
Why not? Be very cute. People would like it.
If you say that all the time, of insert Michael thinks something would be really cute because Michael likes the weird things. Everybody
things?
likes it. Everybody wants it. You sound like Trump. Everybody likes it. It's the best thing of all time.
Go.
Ponies and socks.
Go to Derby Brewer, type in pillow fight, and see if there isn't like well over 2,000
According to your-
pictures. People want pillow fights. And they need to be wearing socks. Needs to be a sleepover situation. They play.
I would go to Derpy Peru and just see how many actually exist on those tags, but I feel like it's starting to get into lewd territory.
pillow fights?
If I was going to be like sleepovers, socks, pillow fights.
What are you trying to say, man?
Michael likes ponies and socks, and he must really like flour.
Flower is cute. That was a popular video.
According to your testimony,
Is that the one with the bat pony?
The robot bat pony, yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you watch that all the time?
I've watched that video at least 10 times.
Only?
Yeah, right?
Do you think should make you getting a series? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it working. That's a person that is able to animate. They do all their stuff full time, so that's basically their day. So, yeah,
You know.
that's where you can do some pretty nice stuff.
Mm-hmm. Like,
According-
were you excited about the idea of ponies and socks pillow fighting? I mean, it just sounds like a great idea. It just sounds like one of those award-winning kind of dealios. Be pillow fighting, romping about, playing in the pillows, and then like Rainbow Dash is like, "Hey, you want to do truth or dare?" And then they play truth or dare, and then two of the ponies dare each other to kiss, and then they kiss, and this is a good video.
But I thought this didn't have any shipping or anything.
No, it's not shipping. It's just friends.
But they're kissing?
having fun.
Okay, so the next time
It's
that we
truth
have
or
like,
dare.
next time that we have like a board game meetup,
Yeah, we gonna play truth or dare.
are you gonna be like, hey, we're all friends here, let's just smooch
No.
it? Why is it okay for them?
It's okay for them because they're adorable. Nobody in our
So
friend
you-
group is adorable.
That's what's gonna happen. And like somebody new to the group's adorable, and you're like, oh no,
Oh no, we gotta play truth or dare.
oh no, everybody has to smooch, but only them.
Yes, just the cute one.
Only smooch yourself.
Oh, no. That's why we don't have any adorable friends, because they just immediately leave and never come back. Life is rough like that. I've been trying to reach you about your Derpy's extended warranty for some time now. This will be your final attempt to reach you. That warranty is voided. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means.
I got my like probably 24th letter today, talking about how my home my home warranty is expiring and I need to extend it, but it gives me no info in there about what that means. It's like, it's your home warranty is about to expire. You better get that reset before, or send us $200 and we'll extend it for you. Okay, what is it for? It's important. What does it do? There's nothing. It doesn't say anything about what it does or what it covers, and like it's extending. So what? You're taking control of it. It's just saying, please send us money.
Yeah, it's a scam. Blatant,
According to your
people fall for them. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. They have Truth or Dare and shipping receiving at the Weather Factory. Yes. It's void if the key marker is removed. Never. You don't hurt the ponies. That's what happens. It's like, I didn't pay my home warranty and then your house just explodes.
You don't pay the warranty fee. Your house might. Well, that's what insurance is for. That is not the warranty.
Insurance doesn't cover anything. You've learned that.
No, insurance covers unexpected acts or events.
Like a flood?
But then that's flood insurance, and I don't have flood insurance.
But it was to your house.
Yeah,
You have house insurance.
yeah, but the flood insurance is part of the house insurance.
Okay, so what does the house insurance cover?
So what does the flood insurance cover? Does it cover the flood?
Well, why do you have to have two separate insurance? If my
It's not two separate. It's an add-on to the actual insurance.
if I had like car insurance and my car was destroyed in a flood and I had full coverage,
Yeah, but that's not. The houses have it as a separate thing. Flood.
why? That's like
Because it's saying that if you don't live in anywhere, if you're living in the middle of the Arizona, do you have to pay for flood insurance? No, it's separate.
it's like separating health
It's-
and dental and madness.
No, that's the way it's done.
Yeah, that's the way it's done in this country.
Yeah.
Because people are always looking for ways to milk a few extra dollars. Because everything's a for profit enterprise. But yeah, I'm sure that insurance will cover something someday. It's
Well,
like,
like if the house burns down, or
depending on
if
how
a
it
car
burned
goes
down.
burning through, to a degree, but if something comes busting the window, if hail happens, it's acts of God that they tend to cover. But
not floods.
flooding is a separate thing.
But that's act of God.
Yeah, but again, I don't have. But it says unless it is caused by this type of damage, which is separate.
Yes.
But because we're not anywhere near a floodplain, I didn't think it would be of concern. So yeah, it's a just in case, because otherwise I could say, hey, my windows are old. They're that could cause degradation and mold buildup because of incorrect temperature whatever. I
think-
need my windows replaced.
They got so old it could damage the house.
They're still not going to cover it.
Yeah.
Because then why, if it's saying like, well, if you just don't deal with an issue long enough, it becomes an insurance issue. No,
That's how
if
dental works.
If the mold builds up to such a degree that it causes the wall to collapse, probably not going to be covered, because that's considered to be negligence. Negligence isn't covered.
Well, according to your test, according to your test,
There's an app for these pony heads. Who's Matt? I don't know. Who is Matt?
Hmm?
Oh, hello, my name is Matt, but I'm mostly young people. National Truth Scholars. Okay.
Who's Matt? Yeah, I don't get the.
I'm a young person. That's what that means. I don't get the hello, my name is Matt because so you guys know what would be fun? Like every time we start to stream from now on, the first thing you all should just say is pillow fight video when. It'll be a fun running joke we can all have. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Do you know how hard it would be to do that kind of video?
I'm not telling you to do that video.
No,
I'm
but
saying
like
it'd be
you
a
would
fun
have to
running
have
joke.
you'd have to have a pillow model that had multiple bones to actually make it look like they were moving. You'd have to have some way to actually have them deform in some way. Like all the horses would have to be standing on their back legs, which none of them are really built to do. So I could do it with the EQG models.
No.
There we go. Okay, we'll do it with EQG.
No.
No, yeah, I solved my own problem. We'll do that.
It's gonna be high. You're gonna do pillow fight with high school girls.
Well, no, we're gonna
That'll be
we're gonna do
popular on the internet.
we're gonna do the Japanese thing.
That's what I just said.
No, you just say they're 18.
Yo,
They can look 9 as long as you
Yes.
say they're 18.
they're actually an ancient god trapped in the body of a 12-year-old.
That means pawn's okay.
Yeah, that's the Japanese thing to do. Pillow fight video, please, and have derpy and explode pillows. No, the pillows shouldn't explode. Nolan, they're fluffy pillows. They have Pegasus feathers in them. The pillows are the Pegasus. They got all the feathers. It would be weird to use Pegasus. It's like just every time you get a haircut, they just start filling pillows and mattresses with people's hair from hair salon. Would you sleep on a hair pillow?
Hmm?
A pillow made up of people's hairs from a hair salon. Would you sleep on that pillow?
Why?
Because I was thinking of like a feather pillow in Pony World where they just use Pegasus feathers. And that would essentially be the equivalent.
Oh, kind of. I mean, hair I don't think would be a comfortable lay on. And feathers aren't going to poke through the pillow as much.
Like, have you ever slept on
Yes,
a
I
feather
have.
pillow? They poke.
Yeah, but not like hair. Hair would eventually just become furry.
If it ever gets out, you're just gonna itch.
No,
all
they
over.
would eventually.
Yeah. Pillow lice? No. How hard is somebody swinging a pillow that you feel like you're being hit with a pipe? How dense is that pillow? You need to get pillows. That is a heavy pillow. There's no lice in Equestria. It's too cool to have lice. I didn't think the pony, like the few diseases that the ponies get are always like magical. Generally, like you have a tummy ache and you're turning into a tree, and you get crazy cutie marks that give you 1,000 talents.
According to your testimony, according to your testimony,
I mean, if you get knocked out by a pillow, there wasn't much keeping you on your feet in the first place. You need to eat something.
testimony.
Like, if you getting hit by a pillow is enough to knock you out cold, then you need to do something about your overall constitution.
Why are you using like MMO stats?
MMO stats. I'm just saying, in general, you need to eat like a burger or something just to not be taken out so easy.
You
Put all the stats
Tony,
into Derby.
you-
Gel/foam pillows are heavy. I'm imagining a pillow just filled with like hair gel.
testimony.
It's a
testimony,
surprise if you swing it hard enough. I don't like those memory foam pillows. I got some for free when I bought my mattress, and I gave them away immediately.
The pure memory foam pillows that are just like a piece of the mattress and a pillow.
Mhm.
I don't like those very much. I tried them; it didn't work for me. I got some that instead they're microfiber, but they're little like chunks of it, so that it's still moldable like a normal pillow is, but at least it's not as hard as a memory foam is, but it's still kind of memory foamish.
The only pillows,
That I like a lot more.
the only pillows I like are just standard cotton pillows or feather pillows. Feather pillows can be nice. They stay cool. It's not
I've had allergic reactions to feather pillows,
Oh, really?
so I don't do feather pillows. And yeah, they don't flatten as well, whatever. But I would get like breakouts. So yeah, it was something that we didn't do anymore.
Yeah. Feather pillows are nice because they'll stay cool throughout the night because they have a lot more airflow. But the feathers will poke out sometimes.
I've been using my current pillows now for about a year and a half, and they're still full. But again, they're like the memory foam things.
I still have a pillow I think I've had for 20 years. It's flat as all can be. Long time to use a pillow. It has traveled. If Rainbow Dash whipped her tail at you at Mach 1 and only her tail hairs hit you, will it hurt? I think so, yeah. Going at Mach 1, breaking the sound barrier with her tail.
Only her tail hit you, it will hurt. Well, I think that any whip that you use that cracks is breaking the sound barrier. That's the point of the crack, is you're hearing it break the sound barrier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. The thing I wouldn't understand though is a whip is a single point and a tail is a lot of hairs. The ability for her to be able to snap it like that with all the other hairs interacting and preventing it, it would never happen. There's too much wind resistance.
In the show.
In the show it did, but it doesn't make any sense. How it could there's no way that you could take a bunch of hair at that length and only holding the base of it and get it to whip.
You're talking about a pony who broke the sound barrier with
not with her butt.
Her whole body. Maybe she
It's
flew
her
backwards.
wings.
You feel
Her butt does not break the sound barrier.
I mean, her whole body breaks the sound barrier, so that includes her butt. She's a phased horse. That's her thing.
you feel
It's the face she makes when you talk about her butt.
you
Put this over here. Gonna look at you. She doesn't have any skill issues when it comes to flying. That is kind of the thing. She likes the flying. But I do, Sir Edward. But thank you for reporting it. Hope you're all having fun. Watch. Oh, he's back to animating horses.
You feel according to your testimony,
He's cute.
you feel you feel
There's gonna be a lot for me to do after this stream.
Why?
It's just cleaning up stuff.
Hmm. I'm gonna extend this.
I feel like if she hit you hard enough to slice you in half, she'd hurt herself in the process. So, like, anything she does to you is going to have an opposite effect on her. I know nothing about the subreddits because I don't Reddit.
So a lot of mods just got kicked from big subreddits. Yeah, well, I feel like subreddit is just trying to they effed up, so then they community fought back, so now they're effing up bigger to try to prevent it. Because I don't know if you have anything that's going on over there.
I have no idea.
Reddit decided to start charging outrageous API fees to the point of these third-party apps that people like using literally have to shut down. There's nothing.
Oh, I think I heard something about that on NPR.
Yeah, so in doing so, the communities decided to go dark, where these huge communities said, well, we'll just like private our communities of millions of people so that people can't use Reddit. And so then the CEO is like, in the private thing, it's like, don't worry about it, it'll pass in a couple of days, we'll be back to normal. So then they started said, okay, we'll just keep doing it. Well, then he says, okay, well then we'll just literally ban you all. So he's just they're I guess, where they're just going to ban all those moderators that did that and just bring in new ones.
Seems like they want to make that money or die trying.
Well, Reddit doesn't really make much money, and it's like a lot of things don't make money. But now when they go from literally charging pennies to charging millions for API access,
because it's not enough. Because yes, Reddit made money. They made enough money to pay their employees. But we know what Reddit's trying to do, because I remember hearing about this on NPR. They're trying to take the company public. They want to turn it into a stock ticker for people, basically, so it can just be another company that's not just a for-profit company, but a company that needs to constantly be growing its profits.
Or it's a company that didn't see any way going forward. Its CEOs weren't going to make much, and the only way for them to cash out is to make it go public, so then they can take their options and leave.
Yeah.
It's a sinking ship that they probably.
It's not that it's a sinking ship; it just wasn't a growing ship. And
well, no, how do you make money? What were they making money on?
Space.
What, side ads? Little tiny ads on the side? That is not enough to supply all the bandwidth that is doing. There's no way that they could have made money on ads alone.
I'm pretty sure they were breaking even, at the very least.
Nope, they couldn't have. Most tech companies.
Then how are they funding it?
It's all venture capitalists that keep throwing money at tech because that's just how it works. Most tech is done that way. Twitter wasn't making money for years. It wasn't making any money ever. YouTube is always losing money.
They were breaking even towards the end.
If they were, it was barely. Most tech companies don't make money. It's just people throw money at them.
Well, barely is still
$3 million a year for access to the API. Well, that's a little different. It was per call, and in that specific situation, based on how many calls were made, it would be $3 million, which yes, does make sense. But the moderation tools, it's not that they couldn't moderate. It's just that the moderation tools that are built sucked. So they used third-party tools to make the moderation easier. So
okay, well, Nolan, when you send that chat, please send me a link.
They did make a modification to the rules that stated that tools that were used for the purpose of moderation, whatever, it basically sounded like they really just wanted to get rid of these certain groups. And then when they added in those, they're just going to keep adding stipulations to it, so that it's going to allow anything people want, as long as it gets rid of the things they didn't want there. or the things that we're potentially taking away. Because if an API is going in and grabbing data, that means that it's bypassing ads. But also, they're probably just trying to get the value up.
I don't know. They're trying to get the value up because they want to take the company public. They can get the value up before they take the company public.
Yeah, but if all this is public, then now people know what they're doing. So then why would an IPO look at it any positive way?
Well, as what they're doing?
Yeah, because they're going to look at it and be like, well, yeah, you buffed up your value because you fucked people over. Like, and
That's how a lot of companies do.
I know, but this is a very public way of doing it. And you have a community that's fighting back. That's conflict. People don't want instability.
Well, it's just another company that making money wasn't enough. It's about making more money.
My favorite was that they were replacing, or a lot of Reddits that were specific to pictures just started saying that the new rule is that you can only post pictures of John Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's literally just subreddit of picture after picture of John Oliver, like only John Oliver being sexy. And so it's just John Oliver, or only John Oliver gifts. And so it's just constantly John Oliver stuff.
He's going to enjoy that next time he actually makes an episode, which will be a while because I think the writer's strike is still going on.
No, don't NSFW using pics of horse and socks. We already have Derpy Brewer for that.
No, it's going to be the /Argo Daemon Reddit channel apparently.
No. Only thing I ever used Reddit for was sometimes, or actually quite often, questions that are asked, the answer comes up on Reddit. But that is about it. Like, I don't, what do they call it? Doom scrolling. I don't know. I have one. I made one a long time ago, but then I got hacked. And when I tried to fight to get it, they literally just did nothing. So I literally had my account unavailable for years until just like a year ago, I decided to push back on it. And I got access to it, but it took me a lot of emails.
I remember I don't know how many people are familiar with Nexus. It's a mod website. And I no longer have the rights to this site that has a bunch of my mods for Fallout. Just the little pip one, and that's it. That's the only one I still have access to. And I actually talked to the moderators and got a real person eventually. And like, I can prove this is my site. Here's my original email address. You can confirm that it's me and it's tied to this account. And they're just like, yeah, but did you pay for the special service? I'm like, no. Like, well, then we can't help you. And it's just like, but you could. You're choosing not to because of some arbitrary thing. If you do this, essentially these mods will never be able to update.
When you apply to that website or that service, or not the service, when you make an account, you accept the terms and conditions.
Yes.
You decided not to read them. It doesn't mean that
I decided to pay them money.
No, it said in the terms and conditions that this is the type of support that we can give you.
Yeah.
They're still following with what you agreed to.
Yeah.
You're just now having a problem and finding that you have a problem with those terms and conditions, but had no problem when you hit accept. Right?
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit misconstrued.
Yeah, but that is what happened, and that's why those terms and conditions are wrote that way. Is now you have a problem. Yeah, they might have put some services behind a paywall, but then you didn't have to use it.
They put my account behind a paywall. What they did.
No, because when you created the account, if such a situation would have occurred, they would have stated that this is the way it would have been handled.
But it was their security that made it occur. Their poor security. It was their fault somebody changed my password.
Well, then you just don't use their service.
I don't.
Okay, well, there you go. So you're complaining about it, but
no, I'm saying that was a situation in which basically a service failed.
I mean, if people have a bad service, you stop using them, unless it's like YouTube, because you just have no choice.
Well, YouTube has a monopoly, yeah. Which is like a whole other topic.
Well, monopoly because nobody else is.
It's not that other people haven't tried.
No, it's because nobody else makes a service that works as well as YouTube does.
And if they did, YouTube would buy them out immediately.
Well, do you know how expensive whole video hosting is? Where do you get the money for it? Like
Venture capitalists
could, but they're only going to survive long enough. At most tech companies that are startups, their purpose of doing a startup is to be bought out.
I mean, I feel like something like Daily Motion could be heavily retooled. But it would take people wanting to do more than just sell ad space.
You feel
like I think even who am I thinking of? The creator of Facebook. What was his name? Mark Zuckerberg. even he knew when he offered the service originally that he couldn't do ads, and he couldn't, because it needed to be
You feel confident.
a service that existed for the people who use it.
You
rather
feel
than
confident.
than the corporations who would just use it for making money.
Well, that's what any.
But then he
business is.
changed it once it was big.
Any business comes down to money.
Yes, but it comes down to how much money.
You feel
When a
confident.
company goes as private, then they can be happy with just making a profit. When a company goes public, it's more then it's no longer about just making a profit. It's
Yeah,
about
yeah, but a
growing
lot of people when they're private can all the money. You could say that all the money goes to the private. Most private companies want to go public at some point because the whole point
because
of
there's
being,
more money in it.
the whole point of being public is that you get almost all of the money that comes to invest in the company goes to the CEOs and the
Yes.
high investors.
It's about making more money.
It's about paying the people that are at the top. Most of that money doesn't go to the company.
It
Confident.
goes to the shareholders and it goes to the CEO. And then they peace out once they have their money.
Isn't there a court case where they rule that some terms and conditions of agreement are not enforceable in that case? Probably not, but just because something is against the law does not mean that you're ever going to do anything about it. A lot of people can read a contract that says like that is obviously like, well, no, you can't put that in a contract. Like, where you going to accept it? Well, yeah. And if I have a problem, I'm going to sue you. Are you going to pay for that? No. If you're going to get so angry because somebody deleted your post and then take them to court and spend $10,000 on lawyer fees, they know you're not going to do that. So even if something is against the law, it does not mean that somebody's going to put the effort in to actually fight it. So it opens them up for potential class action because that's where you can split that cost up and not have to worry about it. The problem is most of them put a non-attribution clause in there, so or a non-attribution, a no, I forgot what it's called, but where you have to go to arbitration for it, which means then you still have to pay for the arbitration. So that's why they put that in there. I thought that went quiet. Wait. There we go. I put repeat off for something else.
I don't really personally care about Reddit, and it probably would be worthwhile investment to invest in Reddit once it goes public.
Even if you don't go, no, I wouldn't. It's gonna spike at the beginning and immediately for crash.
That's not what Facebook did. It went public.
Just because Facebook did doesn't mean Reddit will. Facebook's also got done a lot more. No. What does Reddit have? It's a forum. That is it.
Yeah.
Facebook has moved into doing marketplace and all this other.
Facebook has my grandma.
Yeah, it has a lot of other things that if Facebook or if Reddit tried to do would just be copying what Facebook did. But good luck trying to do that. No,
yeah.
There's no money in it at all.
I don't know. All I know is it probably won't be good for the people who use the site when it comes public. They're always going to be looking for ways to increase profits, and that's probably going to start by more ads, and then they're going to start charging people for stuff, and then it's just going to be an progressing march.
That's you just making speculation.
No, that's the market. That's
well, I know, but that's still speculation.
It's speculation based on every single company. That's
but you're not saying maybe. You're saying that they are.
Yes, because they are going public, so that is what their goal will be. Every company that's ever gone public.
So if this whole strike thing goes, and then the controversy sticks around, and then they're like, we're going public, and then they ask the question about but what about all this crap going on your site with all this toxicity?
Well, then this company will be valued at next to nothing from the get-go, and they'll fail.
Yeah, so that's why they got to have this taken care of, but it's not going very well. When you start doing, when you start destroying the community to save the community, it's not good.
It definitely does seem like a scorched earth plan.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. This one's confident. This is I might have to do that one.
Why
Confident.
does your mouth seem more open on the little side picture and less
You feel
open?
confident.
Is it just the angle? Oh, it's two different ponies.
Because this one's
Reading
moving
your
around.
testimony, you
Okay,
feel
so-
confident.
So like if I were to I guess I'd have to figure out where up to this point. Okay. So yeah,
According to your testimony, you feel confident.
I'm probably gonna have to have the mouth
According to your
open more,
testimony,
but I want to have it minimal right now, and I can add a little
according
bit
to
of
your
extra
testimony,
oomph to the opening afterwards.
according to your testimony, you feel confident that
This
you can
just needs to be
identify
coordinated.
this person. That's what you're saying.
There's so
the-
many big words. Confident. I don't like words that have multiple syllables because every syllable requires an opening of the mouth in between. And confident. And what was the other ones?
Testimony,
Identify.
I don't like them big words.
Oh no, the easiest words are like some because it's literally like whoop. It's
Yeah.
just moving right from one consonant to another with a big one, the jump in the middle. But all these words
you feel confident that you
Confident.
can identify this person.
identify.
That's what you're saying.
He's a
Some of those
lawyer.
words get really mixed.
Your,
Lawyers like them big
your
pigs.
testimony,
Testimony is also a different one. That's why this one I like because he's just a hillbilly.
It's him.
It's him.
It's
It's them there right there.
that guy there.
It's got there.
Do
your
it.
time.
Yeah,
It's him.
He look funny.
yeah. I mean, it's like here.
It's him.
It's him, and then
Your
it's
time.
And that's him.
that's him. It's him, and that's him, and then what?
That is the
Exquisite acting.
appropriately. See, I can't do big words either.
Would you be able to use 3 mouth morphs? Kind of like it's kind of so. Words are hard because like when you get to the end of one, it's almost always a close. But some of these other ones, like going from one sound to the other, especially when it's really quick like that, you're not always closing the mouth, even though it might be a sound that requires it. So just because like this is the sound, like con has a look, th and dent has like distinct sounds. As soon as you mash them together, it might affect how that mouth acts to connect those two. So if you want to make it look natural, you could definitely just do them individually, but you're going to have a mouth that kind of flaps a little bit because at that connecting bit, you didn't smoothly merge them like your mouth would normally do. It gets really messy with some of those big words. And I don't like it.
Big words.
Because if you think like, so con, but if you say con, well, now you're doing like from the back. So you're doing con, but you're starting F with your lips wide. Where if you just started th, and it's only be like th, and you started with your record forward. So, but if you do that as it is, you're going to go con with your mouth back and then immediately throw it forward for th. And instead, you should be actually doing it the other way. Your brain does all that to figure it out, but SFM doesn't. So
I'm not even going to try to read this, but I looked up what is the fear of big words. It's that
yes,
word.
it's a super. Yeah, I was going to say it's hippo.
It's like hippo monstrous quipus stylo
It's like they named some of
Longest
those
word.
words. It's like, so what is the name of the fear of being slapped in the face? Like, oh, we didn't give it a name. We just slapped them.
You just immediately slapped them in the face.
I should know how to use revamped Pharaoh's assets to recreate my character for SFM. Yeah, they're out there, the raw models, but it does require knowledge. But that's with anything. If it's a skill, so you either have to put the time into it or find somebody that's willing to do it for you. You don't know how to compile models. But the information's out there, so you just have to look it up and figure it out. It takes time. Like I didn't learn any of the stuff that I know overnight. It definitely took some time. Just a lot of time. Who's on right now? We did, I think, Jin recently, and I think we did Paleo recently.
Do cowgirl.
I'm thinking so. I'm not going to throw you at the Russian Badgers.
You get lost in that swamp.
Yeah, we did it once because he was the only one on.
How does one get?
Don't forget to stream
700
afterwards.
viewers?
No, I was thinking about first trying to play with the butthole door and then taking a piss.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, how many dragons just started?
Okay.
We knew how many dragons literally just started. Yeah, she's drinking water. She's not even ready yet.
You know, just throw people at her.
Well, it's like,
She's not
then
gonna be
go to
like,
dragons.
Tell her to give up her dragon ways and make more ponies.
She does ponies.
Yeah.
Like, the one right there.
The dragon pony.
It's the derpy. It's still a derpy.
It's still a derpy.
Is that cute?
Yes.
Would you boop a dragon?
I would poop. Wait. I've been lured into a trap. I have to poop.
Derpy gets no boops.
Oh, geez.
But anyways, Black Friday to work on stuff, and it's just kind of a normal week. So I'm hoping within about 2 to 3 weeks we'll be back downstairs. So, but good night, everybody, and have a good one.
Bye bye.
I should go to bed though. Yeah, go to bed.
Tell him more ponies.
Yes. Silver, I'm hitting the button.